I know what you're talking about. Which mic?
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing, and gentlemen, please remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem performed by the Hahnville High School Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. Eric Gano and Mr. Michael Danago. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Today's game is being broadcast live by WWL Radio. Listen online at WWL.com right now through your...
Ricky Preston is really good. Hello? 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 We are having really bad technical difficulties. Can y'all hear me down there? This might be a problem. It's like I can't hear myself anymore either. Hello? Okay, well, I can't hear you.
Wait, I think I heard myself.
You
Yeah,
do?
I do.
They turned your mic up. I just heard it. They turned our mics up.
Alright.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, and we're live. You start.
Alright. Welcome everybody to our broadcast of the game between Hahnville Tigers and the Rumel Raiders. I'm John Benton, and I'm here with
Joshua Perkins.
This promises to be a great game. We have the two-time defending state champions, the Rumel Raiders, versus the Tigers, who are under a brand new head coach, a brand new offense, a brand new defense, brand new everything. Coach Dominic Salvaggio is trying to...
What? Okay, stop. Stop. Why are we stopping?
Getting a bad echo.
We have everything right. I mean, everything's right.
Okay, so apparently there's like a really bad echo with us.
No, thank you. What are we doing?
One more time.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. How's it going? What are they saying, Michael? Ask them if we're good. Michael. Hello. Ask him if we're good. There, turn it off. Turn it off. Do y'all hear the echo still? We're good? Okay, it was the intercom was on.
Alright. Oh. Alright.
Hello, we are here at Tiger Stadium. I'm Joshua Perkins. This is John Benton.
Yep.
We have the opening kickoff, and it looks like it's Bradley Oquin getting ready to kick off. He's the running back.
Yeah.
We'll see how he could kick.
The freshman Dalton Melanson handled kickoff duties for the first couple games, but he appears to be out here.
And Rummel have 3 back to return.
Rummel, two-time defending state champions at the Division I level, and that is a long return by
That's
David
number
Hensley.
8, David Hensley.
6'3", or the 5'9" wide receiver.
Of course, Hahnville have had problems this year on the kick return coverage. We've seen Southern Lab burned them on one play.
Yep. I was right at the end of the first half in the Jamboree game.
And now we get to look at Rummel's offense, led by Chase Forcade, the junior quarterback. They like to run the ball.
Much like Hahnville.
2 very even teams, but they'll pass on this first play. Nobody open, it looks like.
And that's going to be incomplete, intended for Damien Jean-Pierre, the senior wide receiver.
Oh, some good coverage by Eric Gilmore.
In their last game, the Hahnville Tigers defeated the Salmon Spartans 35-14. Meanwhile, Rummel defeated East St. John 39-0.
And that's a shocking score. East St. John, we know, is a very good team.
They lost a lot of talent from last year, but they're still very good. 39-0 against that team is not easy. And Hahnville should definitely be prepared, lest the same thing happen to them.
2nd and 10. We'll see if we have a run here. There's a little motion.
And we do. Nice interior blocking there. That's going to be a long gain for Brandon Phillips. So it will now be 3rd down and 3 at the 47-yard line for the Raiders.
Rummel's being tested early. Hahnville's defense is looking good the first few plays.
Of course, last year's clash between the Raiders and the Tigers ended 7-5, 5-0 headed into the final frame as that's going to be a 1st down and more by Devin Hutton. He's going to get all the way to the 30-yard line in Hahnville territory. So Rummel's in very good business so far.
Hahnville's defense is looking vulnerable to the run.
Anyway, last year the game ended 7-5.
As we look at the replay, of course, it ended 7-5 last year. And that was a heartbreaking loss for these Hahnville fans and this Hahnville football team.
That really put their season on a downpour before it even started. Of course, they managed to rebound slightly last year, but they would love nothing more than some vengeance here. That's going to be a screen out to Brandon Phillips, but for nothing. Tackle made by Chris Marshall.
Great open field tackle by Chris Marshall there. On the screen, they didn't bite him. He didn't bite on it.
Nope, so it'll be 2nd down and 13 here at the 36-yard line. See if Hahnville can force a stop here.
Rummel, they haven't been running the ball much. They came in as a running team.
Yeah, these aren't the same Raiders we're used to, maybe.
And Hahnville's defense could be susceptible to the run. You know, the 3-3 stack.
Yeah.
But it looks like they have 5 in the box on this play.
Rummel's in shotgun form here. Now changing to pistol form. And it's going to be handed off to Michael Mosley, who is taking it about 3 or 4 yards to the 32-yard line.
Eric Gilmore with another good tackle there. And it'll be 3rd and long.
Yep. 8 yards to go for Rummel. Hahnville would love to make a stop here before the Raiders can get into field goal territory.
It would be a big stop for this Hahnville team.
Yep. After the Pretty solid kickoff, and the big gain, of course, by Hutton.
And it'll only be the quarterback in the backfield. No running back. They're definitely passing. And good pressure.
Oh,
but
that's going to be a touchdown to David Hensley.
Yep, they beat the defensive back there. They got him on the nice slant route.
It's a great start for the Rummel Raiders. It's taken them less than 3 minutes to find pay dirt as we head to the replay here in a second. See there, the Raiders are elated to have such an early lead.
And here's the field goal.
It'll be Justin Moraine on the
point.
kick. And that one's going to be good. So the score with 9 minutes left, Rummel 7, Hahnville 0. Not a good start for the Tigers.
No, not a good start at all. And we're looking at the replay now. Here's that touchdown. You see 4K drop back.
He was in the empty tray formation. And he managed to find Hensley there.
Yep, the defensive back was beat. That's not a good sign for Hahnville early.
It's a very good sign, though, for the red and light blue.
Yep, a very good sign. They already equaled their points from last year's game.
Yep. Last year it took them almost the entire game to find the end zone. Here it took them barely more than the kickoff. As now Hahnville will be returning.
It's Ricky Preston and Devontae Craven and Eric Gilmore back to return.
Hahnville is being tested here. They were not tested against in their first 2 games, the Jamboree game against Southern Lab or the game against Salmon. They cruised in both.
Rummel, a very good team. Of course, they were your champions last year in Class 1.
They were the champions the year before, too. In 2012, they actually managed to go undefeated. Suffered a few losses last year. That was a pretty weak kickoff. Hahnville's going to recover at about the 27-yard line.
And that recovery by Drew Dunn. It's a good thing he was paying attention, as it was not a very good kick.
Yeah.
Perhaps trying to keep it away from Ricky Preston.
Yeah, they would like to keep the pigskin as far away from him as possible. He's explosive. Probably the most explosive part on this Hahnville team that has a very, very good offense. Of course, they got the wide receiver Brandon Singleton, the Georgia Tech commit, and the junior quarterback Mike Neal, who's looked very good so far.
Yes, he has.
Not to mention a flurry of power backs, Bradley O'Quinn and Drew Dunn.
And Mike Neal will be under center. The center, Landon Kindler.
That's handed off to O'Quinn, or not.
Mike Neal keeps it and gets a few yards, maybe 2.
Again, it's very hard in this triple option to see quite who has the ball. That definitely messes with the defense.
And it messes with us too. We apologize
Yeah.
if we give some false names tonight. It's very likely.
So we got 2nd down here and 7.
LeBlanc and Singleton are out wide. That might be a passing formation. We'll have to see.
Got an audible here. And Preston moving, and that one is going to be taken by Neal for nothing. So that's going to be about a loss of 2.
Rummel's defense is looking strong so far.
Yep, not a very good start for the Tigers. They've been stuffed on their first 2 rushing plays, more or less. And they really need something here.
Yeah, this is a passing down here. We'll have to see the pass game. Of course, Brandon Singleton, he's a very good young receiver committed to Georgia Tech.
Number 5 overall prospect in Louisiana, according to NOLA.com.
But Rummel has some good safeties. They have the 2nd-ranked corner in the nation, too.
Christian Fulton.
Neal rolling out. Can't find anyone. He'll either have to run it or make a decision.
And that's going to be out of the reach
Of Will and LeBlanc. Not a very good play, but we have a flag on the field. We'll have to see who the flag's on. You think if it's on Hahnville, Rummel won't accept it.
Yep. And
It's declined. It was on Hahnville.
so we're going to have Austin Perrin here out to punt.
Hahnville haven't had to punt that much the last few weeks.
Yep. This starts an indication, though, Perrin might have to keep warm for a little bit.
Yeah, we know Hahnville's kick coverage isn't the best. We'll see how their punt coverage does. We really haven't seen it, like I said. We'll see if Rummel brings the house.
Yep.
As they bring two. Great punt there by Perrin.
Oh, that's going to be a fair catch by Damien Jean-Pierre. As Rumel starts the next possession on the 34-yard line.
And Hahnville has to make a big stop here if Rummel scores. It could be a tough night for Hahnville.
Yep.
Of course, already a tough night playing a good team in Rummel.
Rummel's a very good team, of course. Hahnville has revenge on their mind, and they really don't want to go down 14 early.
It would be heartbreaking for this Hahnville team to go down.
Yep. So much optimism around the campus, and blowout's the worst thing to that, as that one's going to be... Oh, it's
a
fumbled!
It looks like it was picked up.
It
by
looks like it's
Hahnville.
Hahnville ball. It is!
That's Fred Brown on the recovery. Big play there.
You want to talk about a momentum changer. After putting up a touchdown and getting a defensive stop, Rummel coughs up the ball, and Hahnville is in pristine position right now.
And if you thought we were talking kind of loud, we kind of had to, because the student section's right next to us, and they were extremely loud as we go to the replay.
The student section is much improved over last year. Here you can see it was given to Devin Hutton and popped up right into the air, right to Fred Brown, who rips it away right here.
And that's Dwayne Thomas who caused the fumble. The senior, of course.
That's defense making plays. Coach Salt's got to be happy with that one.
We'll see if Hahnville goes deep on the first play after that turnover. We see a lot of teams do that nowadays. But
and it's going to be given to Craven here. Craven has a hole. And he's going to be stopped by the last man. Taken down by Breston Guidry, the Mississippi State commit.
That's a first and goal for Hahnville. If they could score here this game, we were promised it would be a good game. A touchdown here would feed that promise.
Yep. It's the power of turnovers right there. They can change any football game.
And we'll see if they go to Brandon Singleton on this play. They have him listed at 6 foot, but I could tell you from here he looks 6'3".
They got Preston and Craven as tailbacks and Drew Dunn behind the quarterback. And that's going to be taken by Neal himself for a loss.
When Mike Neal's had the ball, it hasn't looked good when he pitched it. They've done good when he pitched it, but him on the ball, the defense has been quick to him.
Yep.
We'll see if Coach Salt adjusts to that. As Bradley Oquan comes in for Drew Dunn, the power back swap out.
Yep. Both of them are easily interchangeable. Both of them pack quite a punch.
And they're also bringing an extra receiver, Waylon LeBlanc, coming in for the tight end, Lee Vial.
So they got LeBlanc, Singleton out wide. In the backfield, Craven, Preston, and Oakland. The snap.
And it looks like it's going to be a pass to Devontae Craven, but it was thrown high. A little too strong from the junior there.
Yep. He's, of course, a first-year starter, so he hasn't quite ironed out all the kinks in his game.
He had Craven, though, if he could have kept it down.
Yeah. He might have also had Singleton, too, if he chose to go that way.
Yeah, there was a few players open there.
So we got third down here and 12.
And we have a timeout for heat and humidity as it gets real hot down here. So we'll take a timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Zachary Industrial and its employees are committed to safety and community. Go Tigers. Zachary Industrial. Dan Proctor, assessor, Hahnville High School graduate, class of 91. Losing the Hahnville Tigers for custom options. Go Tigers. Dan Proctor, your assessor.
All right. We got the defenses and the offenses coming back onto the field for a critical third down in the red zone. It's 3rd and goal at the 12 for the Hahnville Tigers as Rummel attempts to make a critical stop and hold Hahnville to a field goal attempt.
And of course, they missed an extra point last time. A field goal is not automatic, even a short one.
And it's going to be given to Craven. Craven really fumbled that ball. He managed to get back to the line of scrimmage, but nowhere close to the end zone.
That play could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, Craven really could have coughed that one up. That would have been very bad for the Tigers as we see the field goal unit come on.
And Matt Boyer, the freshman kicker.
He missed an extra point in the game against Salmon.
But when we talked to Coach Salt on our On the Prowl show, he said it was all the snap.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of confidence in this young kicker.
The holder is going to be Waylon LeBlanc. The snap is good, and the kick is good.
There's 3 points for Hahnville.
Hahnville is on the board with 5 minutes and 15 seconds left. Rummel leads 7-3. That was the first field goal Hahnville has scored this season so far. It's the first field goal of Matt Boyer's football career, or his high school football career at least.
Of course, he's coming in after Craig Ford last year, who went to ULM, who made a 50-yard field goal, and they talked about him making 60 yards in practice. That's a big hole to fill from Hahnville last year.
Yeah, we got Oakland on the kickoff here. Run up, and that one is a pretty solid kick.
He's been kicking pretty good tonight. We'll see if the coverage is better.
It's going to be returned by Jean-Pierre, and Jean-Pierre is going to get pretty solid yardage. He's going to get out to about the 31.
The kick coverage looked a little tighter there, but they still had a few guys that could have tackled him earlier.
Yeah, it was pretty solid blocking by Rummel, and pretty good returning from Jean-Pierre as well.
And we'll see how Rummel comes back after that turnover.
Yep. They could have really made a statement early and said now their lead is cut to 4. And they'd like to take some of the momentum back.
And the tee was left on the field, so they'll get the tee off the field. And then we'll have our play. Great arm by the ref there.
Of course, the both sides, both the Hahnville and Rummel side of the bleachers are packed. This place doesn't have an empty seat in sight, as that one is going to be a 3-yard gain.
As they've gotten short yardage, Hahnville's looked good on the run game. They had one play that burned them, and that set up the touchdown.
That was a very good stop, though, on Maurice Bailey. So we got 2nd down now and 8 at the Rummel 34.
And 4Ks is back, and he hands it off.
And
Fred Brown, another good tackle there.
Yep. Another run of 2 yards for Maurice Bailey there.
Fred Brown, Hahnville's player of the game so far.
He's got a fumble recovery and a couple tackles now.
As it's 3rd and long. Well, 3rd and intermediate.
Yeah.
You could call it long against this defense, though.
Yep. After the opening drive, they've been playing well in these last 2 drives. So
4K's the only one back. They have a lot of O-line.
4K rolls out, and he is. Oh, it's a drop.
It was good coverage by Eric Gilmore there.
Jean-Pierre had it in his hands. We don't know if he would have stayed in bounds, but he took all hope away when it took a hard bounce off his hands.
And that's a 3 and out for Rummel. Hahnville looks like they're tightening up after giving up that early touchdown. And we'll see the punter. That's number 36, the punter, Enrique Carrasquero.
That's a fun name to say.
He's a senior. We watched him punt in pregame. He was doing pretty good. We'll see if he could try to keep it away from Brandon Singleton and Waylon LeBlanc. Brandon Singleton's very explosive.
Yep. That's why Georgia Tech likes him so much. That was it could have been disaster for Rummel there. That's going to be the fair catch called by Singleton at about the 35-yard line.
Of course, a very high punt resulted in that fair catch.
Hahnville does not have bad field position, though. We'll see if they can take advantage.
No, and with this offense, any field position's good field position.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any of Ricky Preston so far, though.
No, he's their big explosive guy, and that might be part of the reason why they've only got 3 points on the scoreboard so far.
You got to think that they might be saving them, letting Rummel's defense get acquainted to Mike Neal and Devontae Craven, and throwing Ricky Preston at them.
Maybe wearing them down with Bradley Oakland and Drew Dunn as well.
Yeah, that's another option. So many options on this team. It's like my physics test earlier today. So many options.
Hopefully it won't result in failure. Oh, man, that's a problem. That looks like it's going to be recovered by Roma. And Brandon Phillips recovers it, and
Devontae Craven fumbled it, but it wasn't that good of a toss there from Mike Neal.
You live by the turnover, you die by the turnover. Rummel is now in a very similar position to Hahnville.
And it'll be a good thing for Hahnville to hold them to a field goal here. Of course, the last time Rummel were almost exactly on this yard line, they burned them downfield. As we look at the replay, and it was Devontae Craven.
Craven nearly fumbled one earlier in the game. He managed to keep that one. Was not so lucky this time.
He couldn't hold it, and this is why we say, where's Ricky Preston? Ricky Preston, a wide receiver, we know he has good hands. Maybe he wouldn't have fumbled that play.
Maybe. It's all for naught now as we'll see the might of Hahnville's defense tested. Forcade keeps it. Forcade finds the wide open receiver. It's fumbled and it's recovered. Ashante Wheatley put that one on the ground for a split second, but managed to haul in his own mess up.
But he was wide open over the middle. Their touchdown, of course, they had a player wide open over the middle.
Yep,
that might be where Hahnville's vulnerable.
So Rummel's now in the red zone at the 19-yard line here.
This is where Hahnville wants to be, backed up.
Nope. We'll see how they perform with their backs against the wall. Wide receiver number 3 in motion. And the snap. It's going to be given to the tailback, Michael Mosley, who goes nowhere.
And we have a flag. Might be a holding call. Of course, we haven't seen Rummel's kick game yet, but that might move him out of field goal position.
We'll see in a second here.
And that's on Rummel.
Rummel's getting backed up here.
Let's declined. Interesting there. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Rummel has pushed out of the red zone here. Only by a yard, but
2nd and 12.
Forcade under center.
Actually, that's a different quarterback. That's Brandon Phillips.
That's some Wildcat going on there, as Phillips is going to gain about 9 yards there.
And Forcade is not coming back in. So Brandon Phillips is going to stay in the game. We don't know if that's maybe an injury for 4K, but it doesn't look like it was. As it looked like he wanted to come back in the game for this play, but they'll leave Phillips out there.
So 3rd down and 3 for the Raiders. Hahnville, if they want to force them to a field goal, here's their opportunity.
And it's almost the exact same
Phillips
play.
is going to get ripped down by Fred Brown.
And Peyton Robert.
Fred Brown, he's been great for this defense so far, and that's his 3rd tackle to go along with the fumble recovery, as Rummel is going to attempt to make this one a 7-point game.
As we look at the replay, good wrap-up. It looked like Peyton Robert would have had him, but Fred Brown just throws him back, and they're going to attempt a field goal. That's number 32, Justin Moraine, on the field goal try. We'll see if Hahnville brings the heat. And they don't, and it is good.
So Moraine drills the 30-yarder as the Rummel Raiders have a 10-3 lead with 1 minute 27 left in the first quarter.
Of course, only a touchdown lead for Rummel right now.
Hahnville could equalize on this possession.
They've had a few fumbles. One, of course, they recovered, but the last one, Rummel recovered, and that led to that field goal.
There's been 4 fumbles so far this game. Two were kept by the team who fumbled them, of course, but it's been a pretty sloppy game on the ground so far for these two teams.
We'll see if they could pick that up. As Ricky Preston, Devontae Craven, and Eric Gilmore will go back to return this kick. We'll see if it's a short kick like the last one was.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe Drew Dunn could get some return yards. Of course, Drew Dunn, Bradley Oquin, and then Fred Brown in the middle.
Maybe we'll see Fred Brown on the return.
They're playing like a 3-1-2. It looks like a soccer formation out there.
Yeah.
Not something you normally see on the football field.
Not this kind of football field anyway.
And Moraine will kick it off. And here's the kickoff.
This game, of course, has been more offensive than its variant last year.
A lot more offensive.
It's only the first quarter, and we already have more points on the board.
There's a big kickoff there. Will it be in the end zone?
It's taken by Ricky Preston. And Ricky
Preston's
going to burn a few guys. He shoves this last guy out, but he's going to be stopped at the 40-yard line. Nevertheless, a fantastic return from Preston. And Hahnville's got the best field position all night, other than that, of course, that fumble.
Yeah. But they'll have good field position, and that's why we've been asking for Ricky Preston. We know what he could do.
He's a game changer, all right.
Oh, definitely a game changer. Maybe we'll see more out of him this drive, and maybe we'll see him go to the air a few times.
He's in the backfield right now as Neal's under center. And that one's going to be about a 1-yard gain for Oakland.
Yep.
So, second down here and about 9.
As Waylon LeBlanc comes out and Vial comes in. Now they only have one receiver, which is Brandon Singleton. You could count Ricky Preston as a receiver, but he's basically there for the run game.
Yep. On Singleton is I can't quite see anymore.
Mike Neal gets the play call in. That's 4 seconds left on the play clock. They need to snap it quick.
They do, and it's Oakland.
Devontae Craven. He has a hole.
Craven, one guy to beat, he beats him. And he's taken down by Briston Guidry, but that is going to be a fantastic gain there of about 40.
As we look at the replay there, Devontae Craven, a big hole. He's able to keep running, breaks a tackle.
Breaks a tackle from Corey Harris.
Breaks another one, and they were able to chase him down, but they're in the red zone.
It's finally taken down by the number 16 recruit of in Louisiana in the class of 2016.
As Mike Neal under center.
This is the second time Hahnville's been in the red zone. Last time they got a field goal out of it.
This will be the time to see Ricky Preston as he's in motion. And it is Ricky Preston. And this is what he could do as that's a touchdown. Tigers. Ricky Preston.
Aaron Brule, the freshman, tried to tackle him. He's unable to do it. But Hahnville, pending the extra point here, has just tied up the game.
With 1 second left in the first quarter. If it was the fourth quarter, it would feel like last year's game right now. As we look at the replay. First touch by Preston is 6.
And there he breaks Brule's tackle, and the Hahnville crowd is elated here as they have managed to tie up this game.
And there's the kick, and
it's good. It's officially tied, 10-10. A thrilling first quarter here so far that has seen turnovers, great plays on offense, great plays on defense, big hits, and everything in between.
Yeah, this is a very good game.
Both teams, of course, getting 5A state champions. That one ought to be a bloodbath.
And that will be a very interesting game. We know Acadiana beat Destrehan last year. Destrehan looked like they were going to go to the state championship, but Acadiana said, no, we're better than you, and Acadiana ended up winning the championship.
Yeah, and here we go. The Hahnville kick team is on.
There's a in Rummel's last game.
Rummel got pretty much everything they wanted against East St. John, of course. East St. John gave up very little competition, none offensively. East St. John, of course, is in Hahnville's district. We'll see them later this year.
And this, of course, the only 10-point score on this Rummel defense all year. That's a good sign for Hahnville.
Of course, it's probably the third game they've played, but still, nonetheless, a milestone.
And here's the kick. And that's a booming kick.
It's going to be returned here by Jean-Pierre.
As he has the corner.
And Jean-Pierre is going to get to about the 37.
That was a big hit there.
Oh, yeah.
These Hahnville fans are loving it. The team playing with a lot of passion.
Credit Chris Marshall, the junior, with the tackle there. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter here. Hahnville 10, Rummel 10.
That big hit really has these Hahnville fans fired up.
Rummel, of course, will be taking it at the 38-yard line. Or I guess the 37-yard line if you want to be that specific. Rummel, of course, has seen their momentum from the beginning of the game fall away here as it's still very much anyone's game there, as that rush is going to gain some traction. I'll probably get about 3 yards.
That was Jacob Plash on the tackle. This front three from Hahnville's looked very good tonight.
Yes, they have. Of course, Fred Brown has been making plays all over the place on defense.
If I had a scholarship to give out, Fred Brown would have it so far.
Yeah, he's been everything for Hahnville so far on defense. As you can see here, Destrehan has a very fast start against Helen Cox. They have scored for the first time.
That game's advertised to be a blowout. As there's a screen there and another big hit as he dropped it.
It's going to be Ashante Wheatley on the drop. He's been pretty frenetic so far. He put the ball on the ground already, and he drops that one.
Now it'll be another 3rd and long. Hahnville settling in.
Hahnville, of course, very jittery at the beginning, but it looks like they're starting to get the feel for this game.
Of course, that fumble really turned the tide.
Yeah, we have no idea where we'd be without that fumble. It could be 17-0 Rummel. So.
And he rolls out. Doesn't look like he has anyone. As he found someone, but it looked like it hit the ground.
It's no catch for Wheatley.
As it did hit the ground. My eyes did not deceive me. And it's 4th down. That's another 3 and out. Hahnville.
After getting burned in that opening drive, Hahnville has done very well here. The only 3 points they've given up came from a turnover on Hahnville's side of the field.
As we look at the replay, we'll see if it hits the ground here. And it clearly did. Clearly was not a catch. As you see, Joshua Commodore singling no catch, and he was watching the right play.
Yep.
As Waylon LeBlanc and Brandon Singleton back to return. As that'll be Enrique Carrasquero again to punt it. His first punt was a beauty. Of course, Singleton had to make a fair catch. We'll see how this punt.
We'll see if the coverage is as good for Rummel this time. Looks like it might be.
That Singleton, he will take it. And a good stiff arm.
He's going to get some solid positive yardage here.
This could go for 6. This could go for 6. It will.
Get it.
Touchdown, Brandon Singleton.
Brandon Singleton is going to return that one about 70.
Oh, my. As we look at the replay, as we're looking at a lot of hyped players, there's Adrian Young there, the offensive lineman. He's very hyped. Eric Gilmore, very hyped, too.
And, man, after the start, Hahnville has looked fantastic. Brandon Singleton with the punt return touchdown. And Hahnville with the extra point here will take a 7-point lead at home against the Raiders.
Hahnville proving how good they could be this year. Of course, they win this game. A lot of teams are going to circle Hahnville on the schedule to see how good their team really is.
This District 7-5A is, other than Destrehan, is pretty weakened this year. Hahnville looks poised to take advantage, and judging from this game, they definitely have the potential. As we see another
As we look at the full replay here, as of course Singleton takes it, look back, but good stiff arm there. Of course, it looked like the defender kind of tripped. A good block.
And it was all.
That's Eric Gilmore and Waylon LeBlanc with the big block on Carrasquero. And of course, he was gone after that.
And the special teams for Hahnville has been pretty solid so far, but nothing like that yet. Just a fantastic return by Hahnville. And you got to imagine Coach Salt now is going to be telling his Tigers to not get too hyped up and not start letting this lead get to their head. If they keep their head in the game, though, they've got a ton of momentum.
And we'd like to make a shout-out right here to James Colley, running for homecoming court.
Part of our very own ATVB class.
Yep, vote for James if you go to Hahnville High School. We know we love him. Hashtag vote for James. I don't think that's a Twitter thing, but it might become trending. We might get a few celebrities involved.
We're trying to recruit Will Ferrell and Brad Pitt right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's going to be the kickoff here by Hahnville. The Rummel return team is out there.
And we'll see what Hahnville can do here and what Rummel can do in the return. Hahnville has looked vulnerable, but Hahnville struck first in the return game with Brandon Singleton. That's a big play.
It really is.
That could change the tide of this game. Hahnville might be able to use all that momentum and might pull away from Rummel. Rummel needs to be careful here as another good kick from Bradley Oquan.
It's going to be returned here by, it appears to be Jean-Pierre again. And Jean-Pierre is going to get about to the 40. He's been very good in the return game so far. He's gotten Rummel into very good field position on pretty much every single return.
And John Knight with a good tackle to save that play, though. He looked like he was the last man.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 here for the Rummel Raiders at the Rummel 40.
And we'll see if Rummel can do better than 3 plays and out. That's how they've been all night.
Other than, of course, the first drive, which they, well, they drove all right.
And it looks like they're going to be doing the Wildcat again with Brandon Phillips.
Not sure what's going on with Forcade, but it's going to be.
He almost lost the handle there, but
Is
a
the
big
re-
tackle
The read option stopped there.
by Peyton Robert.
Peyton Roberts' second tackle of the game.
A big tackle, too, as they'll get 2 yards. That's been the whole theme of the game for Rummel. 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards. And 2 yards on 3 plays does not equal 10.
No, it does not.
I mean, pardon me if my math is wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does not equal 10. And that doesn't equal a first down.
Even on 4 plays, it wouldn't equal a first down. So Rummel really needs to start doing something here. And we see Forcade back, of course. They really need the passing attack at this point.
And he'll pass it, and
No
incomplete.
catch.
As he was looking for David Hensley, but he could not make the catch on the sideline. It looked like he might have been out of bounds anyway.
So third down here and 8 once again for Roma. As they haven't really gotten the ground game going so far, and other than the first drive, their passing game has followed suit.
There's obviously a passing down as they have 3 wide receivers
They have
on the home side.
They have an empty backfield other than the quarterback Forcade.
And he steps up, tries to find a man, and it's dropped again.
Brandon Phillips there bounces off of his fingers. And that's going to be another 3 and out for Roma.
Rummel are not looking like the team they were last year and the team they were last week.
Yeah, Rummel just looks very sloppy ever since that first drive.
And Brandon Singleton and Waylon LeBlanc back to return. Of course, Brandon Singleton had that explosive touchdown last punt, and Waylon LeBlanc was downfield to set up the block that gave him 6. So we'll see what they could do here.
10 minutes left in the second quarter, and huge drive here for Hahnville as they can really take advantage and make this bad.
And a booming punt. Oh my.
It's going to be a fair catch called for by Brandon Singleton at about the 16-yard line.
So Hahnville will start this drive inside the 20.
Not inside of the 20 they want, though.
No, definitely not, as it will be a long drive for them to score here. Of course, Ricky Preston, 1 touch, 1 touchdown. We'll see if they give him the ball here, if he can make that happen again.
Yeah, Brandon Singleton has that same sort of explosive appeal, so being back at their 17 just means that it might end up being an 83-yard touchdown instead of a 70-yard.
If we know Hahnville are capable of that. We saw a few against Southern Lab in the Jamboree, and of course a few against Salmon.
Yep, and Neal under center here. Craven, Preston, and Dunn in the backfield. And Singleton out wide.
This is Drew Dunn. He has a big hole there, close to the first down.
Drew Dunn's going to gain about 9, and that's good old-fashioned running in between the tackles right there.
As it looks like we have an injured player down on the field. We'll try to find out who that is. It looks like he has a chest injury by the looks of it, or maybe a knee. He looks very hurt, as we hate to see that.
Never want to see that. He looks like he's in some pain.
As Hahnville are awarded the first down, but Rummel might be in deep more with that injury.
Yep.
Visit our website at www.ampsfitness.com.
As you watch the replay, that did not look good. Looked like maybe an ACL.
That's Roger Hudgens, the junior defensive lineman.
Of course, all our prayers go out to him right now, as it didn't look very good. As you saw it, as Destrahan has scored once again.
Our prayers go out to Helen Cox as well. They might need it if they're to get back into this one.
As it's Destrahan 14, Helen Cox nothing, and Hahnville 17, Rummel 10. It seems like it's going to be a good night for St. Charles Parish tonight.
Of course, we can't get too far ahead of ourselves here. Rummel's explosive as well, and never know when things can turn sour against them. That's the kind of power they got.
As Neil looking for the play call here.
And that one's going to be given to... Oh, no, he keeps it. And he's going to get some pretty solid yardage out of that one. He's going to get about 6 yards.
He kept trucking. You don't normally see that out of a quarterback, but he reminds me of an Andrew Luck type player that when he runs, he's hard to bring down. And when he passes, it's hard to cover.
Yeah, those are the most dangerous kind of quarterbacks if they're on their games. So 2nd and 4 here after Mike Neal does his best Drew Doan impersonation.
And we have 2 receivers out wide, Waylon LeBlanc and Brandon Singleton. We'll see if they pass it. Of course, they've only dropped back twice.
And it's going to be a rollout here as Neal's just going to throw that one away. LeBlanc almost got to it, but it was for naught.
He just put it a little too far out wide.
So it'll be 3rd down and 4 here.
3rd and definitely manageable. Maybe a power back down right here.
Could be a pass as well. Could be a some sort of option. Many ways you could go with this one.
That's all the options on this team.
They got plenty of them.
I mean, I don't know if it's legal, but we might see an option where offensive lineman takes it.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know with Coach Salt.
So Neal under center here. Preston in motion, and it's going to be given to Bradley Oakland, who picks up the 1st down.
And he's still on his feet as he goes down inside Rummel territory.
That is an excellent carry there of about 30 yards.
As we said at the power back, as we have another injury, and it looks like another knee injury. As we look at the replay.
And the Raiders are starting to drop like flies here.
And that's a bad injury to this team, as that is Briston Guidry.
Briston Guidry is a huge, huge player for them. He's a junior, of course, but he's a Mississippi State commit. He's a 4-star recruit according to 24/7 Sports. And that would be a huge loss if he's going to miss significant time.
And a huge loss not just for this game, but for the rest of the year if he's out with a very significant injury.
Man, Rummel's going to start needing a MASH unit out here.
Yep, Rummel's going to have to find the paddle so they could get up the creek.
It's always great to see him walk off under his own might.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes back. It looks like he's walking pretty slow. He might not be able to make it back this game, but we hope he's not out for a significant amount of time.
At the very least, it looks like he's managed to avoid devastating injury, so that's nice.
Of course, that's the 2nd injury on this drive to the knee.
Rummel needs to start playing careful here. Everything has gone sour for them since their opening drive. It all started with that fumble that was recovered by Fred Brown and gave Hahnville golden field position. Ever since then, it's been all Tigers.
Yep, the fumble really changed the tone in this game.
Rummel had a chance to take back some momentum with a caused fumble of their own, but they were only able to get a field goal out of that one.
And this is a different set than we've seen as
Toss out
Preston
to Preston.
has it. Ooh.
Wow, excellent tackle there by Derek Munson. Munson had his ankles broken on that one, but he managed to make the tackle from the ground.
As we look at the replay of this big tackle, as he fell but able to come up.
That's talent right there by the sophomore defensive back.
That was textbook. I'm sure he doesn't like looking at textbooks, but that was a textbook tackle there. That's what they teach you to do when you go to the ground.
That was a huge play there because you never know with Ricky Preston. If he broke that tackle, he might not have had any more to break.
And that was a weird set as we saw Bradley Oakland lined up wide and Ricky Preston in the backfield.
Coach Salt likes to mix it up. We all know that. So we got 2nd down and 12 here at
Looks like a timeout will be called by Hahnville.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Custom-free and more. Reasonably priced.
Some scores from around the district. Central Lafourche is up 3-0 on Clark. Thibodeau's got a 7-0 lead on Vanderbilt Catholic. And, of course, Destrehan is up 14-0 on the Helen Cox Cougars.
And Brisbane Guidry is back on the field for Rummel.
It's always good to see. He's a great player for this Raiders defense. As Hahnville ball on Rummel 45.
And here's a pass as
Neil scrambling, and he is not going to get out of that one. That's going to be number 99, Samuel Servette, the 225-pound junior.
And a good tackle there. Moves them out of Rummel position.
That's going to be about a 9-yard loss for Hahnville as they're back to their own 46.
And they will have to go long on this play if they want a first down. As Brandon Singleton can do that, though. He definitely can.
He absolutely can. He's got hands and speed. Devastating combination here.
And it looks like Ricky Preston's limping off the field as Norquell Flowers will come in for him. That might not be good for this Hahnville team. It didn't look bad, but he limped off the field.
We got an empty backfield. Oh, no. Never mind. Drew Dunn was back there, but Neil is going to find his man.
Twailing LeBlanc on the catch, but there was a man right there to take him down. As we'll see if Hahnville will go for it on fourth or try to pin Rummel deep. Of course, Rummel have been able to get about this field position throughout the game, but it looks like Austin Perrin will come on to punt.
We'll try to pin him.
We'll see Austin Perrin's best impersonation of a few NFL punters. Of course, Thomas Morstead's the name that comes to mind for the Saints.
Thomas Morstead, Brad Wing during his time with LSU. Back to return is Brandon Phillips for the Rummel Raiders.
And the last line of defense will be John Knight, Fred Brown, and Corey Schmill for Austin Perrin. Corey Schmill. And it's a fake to John Knight. And he won't go far.
Interesting play call there. Ambitious, but it does not work out for the Tigers.
I think pinning him would have been the best option because the way this defense plays, for one, you don't want to give them any added.
You don't want to give them any sort of window for momentum here.
No, you do not.
As man, if Rummel capitalizes here, they're very much back in this game.
As it's still only a 7-point game with 6:34 left in the second quarter.
First down and 10 here at the Rummel 41.
And it's a run play as he had the middle, but
nothing.
Good tackle, and he needs to hold on to the ball as they were trying to strip it.
It's going to be nothing for the junior running back Maurice Bailey.
And Josh Commerdale and Peyton Robert on the tackle. Peyton Robert showing his worth tonight. He's been on a lot of tackles.
Absolutely.
And that was a big tackle there as it looked like he had open field, but he'll only get 2. And that's another 2-yard run by Rummel.
We said it earlier. That's been the mark of this offense so far.
And it's a timeout for heat and humidity.
Your winning number on a hand-to-hand. 2, 3, 8, 3, 3. That winning number, 238-333. Come to the press box and collect your winnings and congratulations.
As you're looking at Peyton Robert right there. Of course, been on a lot of big plays. And we'll see if he could keep that up. As Rummel has the ball, 2nd and 8.
6:06 left on the clock in the second quarter.
As Hahnville are leading 17-10. And there'll be a pass. And found the open man as Peyton Robert tried to get the tackle but wasn't able to get him there.
And the first down is going to be gained there by Damien Jean-Pierre. He gets to about the Tiger 45.
The tackle by Drew Favre and Jamonte Williams.
So, can't give him an inch or they'll take a mile. Rummel here is now in Hahnville territory with a great chance of reversing some of this positive momentum that Hahnville has garnered here.
We'll see if Hahnville's defense can make a stand.
They've been pretty good with their backs against the wall so far.
And then the shotgun. They hand it off.
And that's going to be a first down there by Devin Hutton.
Hahnville needs to step up and stop him from getting those chunk yards.
Devin Hutton has 2 rushes of 10+ yards, but also a fumble. He's been hit or miss so far.
As we look at the replay,
so
we're looking at the tackle there. Is Josh Commerdale able to stay with him? But
shame he wasn't able to make the tackle earlier.
No, because 10 yards is a first down, any way you look at it.
So it's going to be at the Hahnville 31 here. About 5 minutes left to go.
Rummel's getting an audible in.
Got the shotgun formation here. It's going to be given once again.
And Drew Favre has to make the open tackle and missed. But Dwayne Thomas was able to track him down as another big run there.
For the 250-pound sophomore running back, Devin Hutton.
As we look at the replay.
And he does his best to bounce off of the defender there.
That was David Dowland that missed the tackle.
There's another missed tackle by Drew Favre, but he was finally taken down. As Rummel now in the red zone.
And if they play it right, Rummel could get a first down from here. Of course, at the 11, if they could get to the 1, that's a first down, and they get 4 more plays at the end zone.
They would love to just pound it in right here, though.
As Brandon Phillips, the Wildcats, on again. Or should we say the Wild Raider? A high snap.
That was a wild snap, and that's going to take him out of the red zone.
Now Hahnville needs to play this right. If they can keep driving them back, it'll be a long field goal attempt.
That's going to be the 5th fumble here in this. It wasn't really a fumble, but it's going to be the 5th time either team has put the ball on the ground in this first half.
And from right here, it'll be a 45-yard field goal. That's a pretty far distance.
That's going to be a loss of 17 right there. That's ridiculous. It's now 2nd down and 27.
And Forcade is back in as Brandon Phillips is taken out.
The Wildcat has not been very good for him so far. It's a play action, almost taken down by Fred Brown, but he's going to be taken down there by Dwayne Thomas.
Oh, Drew Favre, a big hit. He takes the football. He deserved it there as that was a big hit. Of course, the man drives a Mustang, and it looked like he was built for it tough on that play.
So Rummel keeps going backwards here. It's going to be 3rd down here and 33.
And right now it's a 50-yard field goal as Rummel keeps moving back as we take a look at the Destrehan-Helen Cox game. It is 28-0 Destrehan.
It's business as usual for the Wildcats. They blew out West Jefferson last week, 47-7. We broadcast that game. This game against the Helen Cox Cougars looks to be going no different so far. You can see the replay here. Forkhead managed to get out of Dwayne Thomas's tackle there, but he was taken down by Drew Favre. So 3rd down here now and 33 at the Hahnville 34. We're at the 11-yard line. They've gone backwards 23 yards in 2 plays. As we're down to 3 minutes 26 on the on the clock. Each team still has 2 timeouts left. And Hahnville, of course, has the 17-10 lead. Rummel entered the red zone with an intent of chipping down that, but they're going to need a lot of yardage here on this very play in order to be able to do that. As the offense is back on the field here. You can see Forcade is has a mission on this one. He really needs these yards. He's back in shotgun formation here. Next to him is Devin Hutton. And the Hanville players are pumping up the crowd. The crowd is pumped up all right. 3rd down here. An audible. And he takes the snap. And he's going to deliver the ball there to Wheatley. And Wheatley gets to about the 22. So that's going to be a gain of 11. Not bad, but still 4th and 22. And looks like we're going to be seeing the field goal unit here. From here, it is about a 40-yard field goal. Definitely makeable, but not easy. So, big one here. On the hold, it's going to be Enrique Carrasquero. As it's going to be another timeout here. We have the teams coming back on the field here. Joshua Perkins is, of course, with his band right now. So with me for these last 2.5 minutes of the first half is Jacob Vickner.
Hey, how y'all doing?
So 4th down here and 21, and we got a 40-yard field goal here. Enrique Carrasquero is holding. Going for the kick is Justin Moraine. The snap is good. The kick is blocked. And Hahnville has all the momentum right now.
Yeah, I've been on the field the whole time. They've been looking good.
Jacob here has been managing the field camera so far. As Hahnville's gonna be starting their drive here on their own 22. They got 2 minutes 46 seconds left, and not necessarily too little time to make a drive here. So 80 yards to go. We're going to see the 2-minute offense here of the Tigers.
And what impressed me earlier was the punt return, and I was right in the middle of it.
Hard not to be impressed by that.
Oh,
He
yeah.
broke a lot of tackles, a lot of good blocking. It was just a textbook punt return touchdown. So Neil calling some audibles here under center. Preston in motion, and it's going to be given to Oakwin. Or kept. It was kept by Neil. Neil hit the ground pretty much immediately. As it's going to be about a loss of 1 yard. 2nd and 11 here at the Hahnville 19. Rummel, well, one thing that would definitely make it worse for them here was if they give up points here. They really need to stand their ground to get some momentum headed into halftime. And they are definitely not out of this game yet. It's still only a 1-score game. But the way the atmosphere feels around here in Tiger Stadium definitely feels like Hahnville has a big lead. As Preston here stumbles, and he's going to be knocked down there by Brandon Phillips. Brandon Phillips plays on both sides of the ball, of course. He's made plays on both sides of the ball, but he hasn't necessarily been great on offense. As 3rd down here, and that play went for a loss of 2, as it's now Hahnville ball at the 17, 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, they scored more. Both teams scored more points than last year. It was 7-5 last year. Right now, it's 17-10.
It's been mostly a free-flowing offensive game, other than a couple of fumbles that have given opportunities to each team. Neither has actually scored a touchdown off of a turnover so far, but both have scored a field goal. Hahnville's case, they've harnessed the momentum they got from it and have really taken this one as they got another timeout. Offense heading back onto the field here. 3rd down and 13. Hahnville's own 17. We got a minute 10 left. We'll see if that's enough for Hahnville to do anything. But gotta figure they'd be pretty content heading into the halftime with a 17-10 lead.
They're gonna get the ball back in the second half. They can just run it out.
And, after that first drive, Rummel looked like a juggernaut offensively on that first drive. They drove on their own will. But since then, they haven't been able to get anything. The only points have come off of a turnover in which they still went technically 3 and out. So, and of course, the last drive, they did pretty well to get to the 11-yard line, but went all the way back to the 34 and ended up missing a 40-yard field goal. So, as a Rumel fan, I don't know how you can be encouraged by this play, by the team play, other than, of course, the first drive. They've been pretty sloppy with the ball, but at the same time, this is 2-time defending state champions for a reason. They're definitely not out of the game. As bad as they've looked over the last couple of drives.
And when you look at their wayside, it is packed to all the way up.
The Rummel faithful are making up about 50% of this crowd. Pretty impressive for an away team. But they got a large fan base, of course. Pretty prestigious program. As punting the ball away here is going to be Austin Perrin for Hahnville. And it's going to be a very high kick. Not a very good one. It's going to land about midfield. And it's just going to be picked up here at about the 33-yard line. An excellent Hahnville bounce. And Rummel's got 52 seconds left to make up about 68 yards here.
Yeah, it didn't go far, but it ended up bouncing Hahnville's way again.
You can see there Drew Favre with a huge sack, pumping up the crowd. So it's going to be 1st down and 10 here for Rummel at their own 32 as the offense marches onto the field. The cheerleaders there have had a lot to cheer about. The fans have as well. This has been an excellent first half for Hahnville. And, Coach Salt has brought a lot of promise to this campus, but this is the first game where we've really seen it take any effect. It's their first real test, as that was Damian Jean-Pierre on the catch.
Yeah, as I'm looking at this team on the sidelines, they're a more confident team than I saw last year.
Absolutely. And, Destran is, of course, still the heavy favorites in the district, but they really seriously have to watch out for Hahnville at this point. They look far and away the biggest challenger to the Wildcats. 2nd down here. Fourcade is once again going to find Jean-Pierre. But it was incomplete. So 3rd down here and 3 at the Rummel 39. Down to 43 seconds here, and if Hahnville plays their cards right, they might end up with the ball again. Of course, you'd figure at that point they'd probably just run the clock out, but
they just, I think they want to score more points because Hahnville gets it back in the second half, and they may end up scoring 24 points.
They may very well end up doing so. That's going to be the carry by Devin Hutton. He's been very good this game other than the one fumble as he picks up the first down there. So, Rummel ball at the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line. But it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility that they get into field position. They're going to spike that one, giving them second down here. But you know, maybe field goal position's about the 25-yard line. That's 30 yards. That's definitely doable in 34 seconds.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they have no timeouts left, so that could be definitely a problem. But if they manage themselves right here, they might not be going down into halftime with a 7-point deficit. Forcade in the shotgun. He fumbles it. He picks it up. He's going to run it there. And he's going to be tackled there by a gang of Hahnville players. It's going to be Josh Commerdale and Stephen Cloud, as that's going to keep the clock running. Let me see the replay here. He was hit by Drew Favre and Dwayne Thomas, and then taken down by Commerdale and Cloud. And we're down to 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and this half is over. Hahnville has a 17-10 lead over the mighty Rummel Raiders. And we'll see you guys for the second half of what promises to be an intense game.
draw your attention to the Southwest Dance Team as they perform Pharrell Williams' hit, Happy. Hahnville High School Child Marching Band presents the first movement of their 2014 competition show. The 2014 show is a salute to all things space in celebration of the 45th anniversary of the moon landing. Drum major Kenny Stress is your band ready to perform. Hahnville High School Choir Band, you may take the field for your performance. Congratulations to the second of the week, the Melophones. The Hahnville High School Band is under the direction of Mr. Eric Gano and Mr. Michael Denko.
What was that? Pretty good. Not good about who you are. There you go. Well, I mean, apart from the girls. Dude, they're a lot. Like, you're not the only one. I just find the beer. Who are you playing? You're on this side. I didn't know two guys came from the front right there, right there. Yeah, that's all right. I know, but I mean, like two guys that are fucking
Hello and welcome back. We are back after halftime. It is Hahnville 17, Rummel 10. As we will start the third quarter, Hahnville will receive the ball with a 7-point lead, hoping to get a 14-point lead. I'm Josh Perkins, and with me is John Benton.
Hello.
And we will be here for the rest of the second half.
Some score checks from around the district. Terrebonne is currently losing to South Terrebonne 12-7. Thibodeau is still up 7-0 on Vanderbilt, and Destrehan is now up 35-0 on Helen Cox. That's a blowout down there.
They're in a blowout, but we're in a tight game here. Glad for you to be with us. As Devontae Craven is the deep man, and it's another booch kick. Drew Dunn will take it this time. Yes, he does. And they're ruling him down.
So,
Hahnville will have the ball at the 27. As we get a look at this Hahnville offense coming out of halftime pretty early.
it looked good in the first half, but I still got a lot of work to do. Rummel isn't ranked number 3 in the state for no reason.
And we talked about it during halftime. This is the loudest we've seen Tiger Stadium in a long time. These fans are really getting behind their team here.
Coach Formaggio talked about restoring the H. The H is here as we got our first play of scrimmage in the half.
And it's Mike Neal with the ball as he keeps going. Gets hit from behind. That's about a 3-yard gain for Mike Neal.
It's Corey Harris on the tackle.
In the first half, Rummel's defense, they didn't look very good as they were only able to hold Hahnville to 17 points as they could have gotten more, but they looked really sluggish in the run game.
To be fair, they haven't exactly been gifted with their offense. Good field position. They've had multiple times where Hahnville scored in their own side, and of course the punt return is not necessarily their fault either. That's on the special teams.
Yeah, Rummel's defensive back coverage has been pretty good.
It's amazing that Rummel really, it seems like we have nothing but bad to say about them from this game. They're only down 7, so.
Yeah, as there's Mike Neal, and he has nowhere to go as he needs to go down. A big hit by Norquell Flowers, but that won't help as Mike Neal takes a big loss.
That's Brandon Phillips there. That's going to be a loss of about 24.
As the big block by Norquell Flowers has a player hurt, so we'll take an injury timeout. But Mike Neal, what was he doing there? We don't know.
That's the inexperience right there. This is the second game to start. This is really the first test he's had, and he's been mostly good this game, but that was quite a lapse in judgment.
As heard on the play was Michael Mosley. He looks good. He might have just got a little stinger there as it was a big block. But the big block was the only decent thing about the play.
Yeah.
As Mike Neal took a giant loss there. And
it's 3rd down and 30 here.
This Tiger offense didn't need that, as they haven't been able to be a threat in the pass game. And 3rd and 30, you really need a pass. A very long pass. We'll see if they can get it to Brandon Singleton.
Honestly, at this point, I'd be surprised if it wasn't a screen here. That's what I would go with, but we'll see what Coach Salt has up his sleeve.
And it looks like the defensive backs for Rummel are playing by the original line of scrimmage at the 10. With 10 yards to go, they're playing really deep.
And it's going to be given to Oakland there. He sees he's going to get pushed back, but there's a flag.
As it might be a holding. It looked like Carmichael Critton held Briston Guidry there. That's what it looked like from up here. We'll see the call. Of course, the refs aren't known to go in our judgment, so.
Yeah.
But if it's on Hahnville with a 3 and out, and they'll have to punt from the end zone. That's always very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, any yard they can get at this point is it's gonna be declined. So it's gonna be 4th down here. The punt team is on, and
Austin Perrin will punt out of the end zone.
Rummel has a phenomenal opportunity here to score some amazing field position.
As Austin Perrin's a sophomore, we'll see if the pressure could get to him. and Rummel will start out with really good field position here.
Yeah.
As long as they don't fumble the catch or anything, as the punt was not a beauty. It took a good bounce, though, as
That's going to be John Pierre on the return. If there's flags.
there's a flag. We don't know what it didn't look like there was any penalties on the play, but we'll see what the refs say.
Relatively clean first half penalty-wise. Maybe there was one penalty at some point. I think there was, and that it was like declined. But you know, overall very clean first half penalty-wise. Not so much to start the second half.
Yep, and they're conversing over what the penalty will be. We still don't know.
I don't necessarily know if there's any penalty. But
As it looks like a block in the back on Rummel.
so yeah, Rummel's still gonna get a good field position out of this. They're probably gonna be, you know, about their own 45, but could have been way better. So
Yep, we'll see what Hahnville's defense can do, facing some adversity early.
they've created turnovers. They've done their job so far. So we'll see if that continues.
That penalty moves them back a good bit. And they're out of Hahnville field position here, so
They're at their own 42.
they're good field position. Of course, it's still very good field position, but not as good as it was.
They got more work to do than they anticipated.
And that's 4K under center. We've seen them run the Wildcat with Brandon Phillips. That's a nice little run there, about 4 yards.
Morris Bailey has not been extremely effective on the ground so far. Hutton's been their big man so far, but that's not a bad carry. As speaking of him, he's on the field now.
And it'll be 2nd and 5. Ball on the 47. Of course, Hahnville holding on to the 7-point lead. We know what happened last year. It was a very late touchdown that gave Rummel the win. This game looks like it's going to be coming down to the wire, too. As another handoff there, and he stopped.
Hutton goes nowhere. About 2 yards. What do you know?
That might be a little generous, John.
It may be. There.
As it'll be 3rd and about medium.
Yeah, they're going to spot it at the 49-yard line here.
So it was 2 yards. My apologies. And we'll see how Hahnville's defense approaches this play. As the set that Rummel's in doesn't give away a pass or a run.
From the shotgun.
And it will be a quick pass.
And that's going to be David Hensley. And he's got some serious yardage here. And
still on his feet there.
Credit Dwayne Thomas there with the takedown. But a lot of missed tackles there by Hanville, as Rummel's going to move up to about the 35-yard line.
It looked like they were trying for the ball, trying to strip the ball, and with the lead, that's not something you want to do.
Yeah, to be fair, you know, Rummel hasn't exactly taken the best care of the ball, but we'll see on the replay or not. And wow, what a push! That's classic power Rummel running, as Destrehan is now 42-0 on the Helen Cox Cougars. Scoreline says it all there.
And that is a blowout as they give him the first down. As when he snapped the ball, I didn't think it was going to be a positive play, but the big push.
So
the linemen ate their Wheaties this morning.
Rummel now at the 25-yard line.
We'll see if Hahnville can hold him to just the field goal here, maybe even push him out of field goal range. As there's Brandon Phillips on the run, and he goes down. That's about 3 yards on the pickup.
Brandon Phillips is plays on both ends, and hasn't been great on offense, but that 3 yards is not bad. As second down here.
We see Dave and Dallin check in for Josh Commerdale. They're getting some size on the front. Of course, Dave and Dallin, he's 6'3", 300 pounds. And that might be a little generous on his weight there. As we'll see if Hahnville can hold him to just the field goal range. As there's Brandon Phillips on the run, and he goes down. That's about 3 yards on the pickup.
Brandon Phillips is plays on both ends, and hasn't been great on offense, but that 3 yards is not bad. As second down here.
So they're looking to go big up front. We'll see what he could do. Him and Fred Brown are really, really hard to run against. And it's a run there, and of course he stopped.
Credit Dallin with, I guess, half a tackle on that one. We go to the replay. Just absolutely stuffed.
As that was Dallin and Jacob Plash. And of course, grabbing the legs was Dwayne Thomas. It was about a third tackle. I don't know if we have that on the stats sheet, but we'll have to mark it as a third of a tackle up here. As it's 3rd and long. Let's see if Hahnville can hold them here. As they keep Dallin in the game.
And Rummel's got an empty backfield other than a fullback.
And they're bringing the house. And they don't get there. As Brandon Phillips is wide open and he'll catch it for the touchdown. Rummel with the touchdown there.
They'll tie it up.
As Hahnville brought the house, but they didn't have the motorhome in the backyard for insurance there.
So, with a point after here, Rummel's going to tie this one up. Again, this Raiders team is so good.
As Justin Moraine will try to tie this game up with the extra point.
Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good.
Right down the middle, and we are 17-17. This game is really good. I hope you stay with us. It might be better than some of the games you'll see on Saturday and Sunday.
Probably be better than the LSU game, honestly.
And with 6:21 left, we are, of course, tied in the 3rd quarter. And it is 17-17, a very close game. Of course, tied. You can't get much closer than that. But these games can't end as a tie, so we'll have a winner before the night's over.
Who it will be and how it will be remains a mystery.
And we're very excited that you could be here with us to watch how this game plays out, because we don't know. It's not scripted. As Devontae Craven will be back to return. Justin Moraine, of course, with the kick. And it's a good kick there, and it looks like it will be in the end zone. And Devontae Craven will take it out. Perhaps not the best decision to take it out there, as he will be tackled as the momentum has swung.
Rummel has full momentum at this point. We'll see. This is a critical drive for Hahnville on offense.
Extremely critical. And, of course, last drive, it was about 4th and 80. Of course, that might be adding a little to it, but it was 4th and long.
It definitely felt like 4th and 80.
It was 4th and 80 for this Hahnville Tiger offense. And for the defense, too.
Yeah.
They didn't have the best field position to work with against the Rummel offense, and Rummel, of course, able to drive down the field and tie the game on a good drive.
Their first drive in the first half was ended in a touchdown. This one does as well.
Mike Neal will have the control of the offense on the 16. Waylon LeBlanc, Brandon Singleton out wide, Norquell Flowers in the backfield. As it's Mike Neal with the ball. Stays on his feet, and he'll push for the first down there. Great run by Mike Neal. That's the 3rd good run we've seen out of him.
Mike Neal, again, doing his best Bradley Oakman impersonation there.
Might even go a little farther and say that his best Colin Kaepernick impersonation.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Johnny Manziel on there.
Quarterbacks are not supposed to carry 3 guys like that, but
and it's not like Rummel has small players.
Absolutely not.
Mike Neal, the weight room is working out for him tonight. We'll see if the weight room can work out for Hahnville for the rest of the game, or will it work out for Rummel?
So 32-yard line here for the Tigers.
1st and 10. They, of course, their run game is very good. They have a lot to work with.
We got just over 6 minutes left in the quarter. Can't believe half this quarter's gone already.
Yep. It's moving very fast. Of course, both teams like running the ball. Those games tend to move fast.
This game's been a lot more fluid on offense than the game was last year. We've said this already, but
Yeah, last year, of course, ended 7-5. This year, 17-17.
who knows how that one will end, but
And Drew Dunn will be in the game. Drew Dunn, Devontae Craven, Norquell Flowers, Brandon Singleton, all in the game. Of course, Ricky Preston looked like he went down earlier. He was a little hobbled. It looks like we could see him getting treatment right now, as that was in the first half. He went down, and Norquell Flowers has replaced him right now.
that's a big loss if he stays out of this game too much longer, at least.
A very big loss for the Tigers. We'll see how they work with that. Of course, Norquell Flowers isn't bad as a fumble on the snap, and it goes down, and Rummel, as the ball's still on the ground.
Craven might have actually gotten to that one.
It looks like there's a
He
chance
didn't.
Hahnville has it, and they do not, as Rummel will have the ball. As a bad snap there, Mike Neal not able to take it in the great strip.
It's all coming up Rummel right now, as they're just outside of the Hahnville red zone.
As Hahnville needs a big play here, a big defensive play, maybe. And Rummel on offense here. Brandon Phillips in the Wildcat. He's ran out of this a few times. We'll see if he runs it again, and he does. We'll see how many yards he gets in. He has a hole.
And he has a first down.
As it looks like they'll mark him down at about the 10 1/4, so it might just not be 1st and goal here.
How quickly this game has changed. In probably about 3 minutes. So, it's 1st and goal here for the Raiders.
Hahnville has to have a big stop. A field goal will be very good for this Hahnville defense from here.
And it's another push.
Won't get as much on this play, as it looks like they only got about 3.
It's of course the junior quarterback Chase Forcade. He's been all right this game. Some good, some bad.
Right now, everything's going good for Rummel, though.
Yeah, their fans have to be ecstatic, especially with the way they played the majority of that first half.
As we'll see if Hahnville's defense can hold them to maybe a field goal, maybe a big turnover.
Maybe.
A fake right there, and he's running with it. He has field.
And he has end zone.
Touchdown. Chase Forcade on the run there. And he will score, and Rummel will go up. As we look at the replay, great play fake there. It looked like it had the whole Hahnville defense faked out.
Absolutely. They really had nobody. They had somewhat of a shot with Peyton Robert. He was unable to get the stop.
And after this extra point, it will be 24-17, a 7-point game, if they can make it. But extra points are normally automatic. And a little high snap, but it is good, and it is 24-17. Rummel with a 7-point lead with 4:40 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
how Hahnville answers Rummel's back-to-back touchdowns is essential to this game.
And I don't think they need a touchdown here. Maybe a field goal. Any points. They need any points they can get here. A field goal will help them in the game, as Norquell Flowers has taken over his position.
But this offense has really missed him.
And they'll pass it as he rolls out. And it's complete to Singleton. And he's inbounds. First down to the Tigers.
That's a first down from the Yellow Jacket commit.
Of course, if you don't know Yellow Jackets, that's Georgia Tech. They haven't been very relevant lately. They were good in the mid-2000s.
But, you know, some great wide receivers have come out of that program. Of course, Calvin Johnson,
Yeah,
Demarius
Calvin
Thomas.
Johnson's a big one. And maybe Brandon Singleton is the next great Yellow Jacket receiver.
Maybe. They love to run the option, much like Hahnville, so who knows.
As they line up with Waylon LeBlanc and Brandon Singleton on this side. Of course, it's not often you see 2 pass plays in a row from Coach Salt. We'll see what this is, and it's a run up the middle, the power back. And he gets about 3 yards there.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
As it looks like it was Brandon Singleton. As he's in the pile, is an odd pile there, as it looks like they have an injured player. I believe that is Maurice Bailey. But he looks fine as he gets up and he stays on the field.
Always good to see that.
As we'll see what Hahnville can do. They're, of course, in Rummel territory for the first time in this half.
So, Mike Neal in the shotgun here, or in the under center, I should say.
And it's Norquell Flowers, and he drops it, but able to recover it and make a good run out of it. Norquell Flowers.
That's how to recover from a drop there.
As we look at the replay, as you see, Mike Neal, his pitching hasn't been the best, but Norquell Flowers just missed it, but able to catch it. Of course, it took a favorable bounce.
Both teams have had a serious case of the Butterfingers, not with catching, but with holding onto the ball.
I know I could go for a Butterfinger right now, but not these teams don't want any Butterfingers.
I think Destrehan deserves some Butterfingers after this one. Winning 48-0. Just an absolute blowout.
Yep, and that's definitely not what we have here. That's
Pretty much
completely different from what we have here.
Yeah.
About the same amount of points, but both teams are on the score sheet here, as that's a run for about 5 yards from Drew Dunn.
Power running has gotten Hahnville back into this one.
As they are inside the 40. It's been Drew Dunn and Bradley O'Quinn that's been able to get the power game. Running very good on the ground.
Both teams have resorted to ground and pound, and it's worked for both.
As Drew Dunn stays in. Bradley O'Quinn on the sideline. We'll see what they do here.
Craven and Flowers as tailbacks.
And it's Mike Neal, and fakes the pitch but falls down.
That's going to hurt.
And it looks like it'll be 3rd and 2. Third and a long 2, but 2's 2. As Mike Neal looks a little hobbled.
Man, he could have had the first down there if he didn't slip, but you know, what are you going to do?
He got bit by the turf monster.
Right you are.
And we'll see what they can make out of this 3rd and short. Of course, it's a big 3rd and short in the game. You got to think they're in 4-down territory right now.
At this point in the game.
Just the way the momentum's been. And I think they'll power back it, and they do. Drew Dunn gets the first down. It looks like stays on his feet. Oh my, Drew Dunn goes inside the 15. Of course, we saw that almost exact play last year with Lynn Simmons, Hahnville's running back last year, and he took that for 6. Drew Dunn not as lucky here, but look at this. Oh my, Drew Dunn. As of course, he had a lot of help from Drew Jones there. It was the Drew story right there.
Yeah. We enter the final 2 minutes of this 3rd quarter as Hahnville enters the red zone and the Rummel team doctors enter the playing field. We have a Raider
4th
down.
time tonight we've had a Raider down. I don't know if they're used to playing on turf. I'm pretty sure they are. Of course, Rummel, school with a lot of money. Pretty sure they have turf.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
But we don't know what it is.
Appears to be maybe Derek Munson.
We hope it's just cramps, but it doesn't look like the way they're treating it is cramps. Of course, we never hope for injury. And the big thing that gives Rummel's defense a time to rest.
Yeah.
Of course, they've looked vulnerable so far on this drive. And he's still on the ground here.
They're helping him up.
And he gets up.
Yep, that's Derek Munson.
It's a big injury blow for Rummel. Of course, they had Briston Guidry go down early, but he's able to come back. And, of course, he gives them a nice handshake right there. Briston Guidry, he knows what it's like to get injured and come back this game.
Yep.
So we hope that number 8, David Hensley, can do the same. But a big injury for Rummel if he's not able to come back.
Yeah.
And the teams are back on the field. Of course, Hahnville inside the Rummel red zone.
Ricky Preston's still not on the field yet. Flowers still on there.
Yep. I don't see him on the training bench, though, so he might be ready to make a comeback in this game. As Norcal Flowers in motion, they give it to Drew Dunn. And he gets about 5 yards there to the 5. Actually, that'll be about 10.
Drew Dunn is
We'll see where they mark it as we look at the replay.
Drew Dunn is doing his best Will Matthews impersonation right now. You know, maybe some Adrian Peterson, maybe some LeSean McCoy. He's been everything for the Tigers this drive, though.
Yep. A few big runs for Drew Dunn. Of course, his dad's a roofer, and he's been raising the roof in here. As that's him again, and he's fighting and might have picked up the first down there. As we'll see where they mark it. It looks like they're right on the line.
I don't think he's going to get it.
No, and they marked it a little short.
3rd and inches here.
As we'll likely see Drew Dunn again.
There he is right there.
5'9", 190 running back. Of course, he's a junior. They'll have him next year. And he's very prolific in this offense, him and Bradley O'Quinn. We'll see if they might just do a little scramble with Mike Neal, and that's exactly what they do. Of course, we saw Rummel get a big chunk from there, and it will be 1st and goal for the Hahnville Tigers.
They're at about the 2-yard line, and we'll see. But they, if they're able to punch it in, that'd be great for this Tigers team.
As this has been a very clock-eating drive for Hahnville. Of course, a touchdown here will tie it up, pending an extra point. As Helen Cox has scored on Destrehan, 48-7.
Wow. And that's going to end this 3rd quarter.
We are in a very tight one. It is Rummel 24, Hahnville 17 going into the 4th quarter. as the fourth quarter will start. Hahnville on the verge of a touchdown here. A few yards. Drew Dunn will stay in the game. He's been their main yard eater on this drive. We'll see if they give it to him.
We'll see.
Of course, he's had numerous runs over 2 yards, and they're at the 2-yard line now. All signs lead to Drew Dunn here, and he takes it, and we'll see. Touchdown, Tigers!
This game is tied.
As the student section and the fans erupt, and pending an extra point, we are tied. It is 23-24. Pending Matt Boyer's extra point, that could tie this game up.
Very well could.
And here's the extra point. Snap looks good, hold looks good, kick looks right down the middle, and we are tied. Hahnville 24, Rummel 24, fourth quarter. Somehow they both have 6 timeouts left by the scoreboard. We don't know what's going on. We are in a very close game here. 11:55 to play. Of course, this quarter just started. That was the first play of this quarter. And it's a pretty close one, wouldn't you say, John?
I would, 24-24 doesn't lie. What can I say? We'll see how Rummel responds.
Of course, both teams have had sloppy possessions.
Yeah, this game has featured momentum swings like no other. It, first Rummel looks like a juggernaut on offense, and then Hahnville looks like they have full control of the game. And then it's back to Rummel having full control of the game, but Hahnville engineers a drive there, and it looks like we're back to square one.
And it's basically like we're playing the first quarter all over again. And Bradley Oquan will kick off. Of course, Hahnville started the game kicking off. So, of course, the Hahnville band playing Doctor Who, and it's about Doctor Who will win this game tonight, as it's extremely close. And we have the kick, and it's a good kick.
It's going to be fielded by John Pierre.
He's been able to make a few runs and hops over a guy, making breaking a few tackles, but gets dragged down at the 24.
He earned every bit of those 24. A couple guys that had a real opportunity getting to him.
As that was a hard 24 there.
Right you are.
Let's see what this defense can do.
Rummel just took a punch. We'll see if they can counterpunch right here.
Of course, Hahnville's defense can really set the tone for this fourth quarter if they could get a quick 3 and out and give their offense the ball back.
Or better yet, a turnover would be huge.
A turnover would be monumental in this ball game. Of course, Rummel trying to run down the field.
4K in the shotgun. They're not messing around.
And Hahnville trying to pump up the crowd here as they're getting loud.
The clock down to 3, and it's
as it's a run, and big tackle there. He won't get many. He'll get maybe one. As Dwayne Thomas, Peyton Robert has been a marvel on defense in this game.
He and Fred Brown both.
And Dwayne Thomas too, of course. According to ESPN, he is the highest rated recruit from Hahnville. Dwayne Thomas, number 15.
As we have 2nd down and 8 here at the Rummel 27.
And Brandon Phillips comes into the game, but 4K is still in there, so it doesn't look like they'll be running the Wildcat. No, Brandon Phillips sets up as a running back.
And
4K to throw it, and it's dropped. Chris Marshall might have gotten a hand on it there.
That's Justin Dalfarez on the drop. First time we've really seen him in this offense so far.
As it looked like Chris Marshall may have gotten a hand that might have disrupted that pass, and a big 3rd down here for Rummel's offense.
Yep.
A huge 3rd down.
We've seen this many times. Rummel just stalling out drives. Will happen again here.
Of course, all these people are getting loud. We might have to start talking pretty loud.
Yeah.
Let's see what the defense can do as they're going to pass. And he's going to run. He has open field as he'll get the first down.
That's textbooks right there. And 4Kids saw pretty much the Red Sea parting in front of him. He took every bit of it. And excellent job of extending the drive here for the Raiders.
Great play by 4K, and we'll see if they could build off that. As if Hahnville can keep forcing third downs, though, you'd like to think Rummel wouldn't make one.
Yeah. The more third downs you can force, the better, obviously. First down here at the 36-yard line.
And trips. He tripped. And then Fred Brown giving a little assurance on the tackle there, but it looked like he was down.
That's
Maurice Bailey.
It's going to be a loss of 2 yards on that slip up.
As it will be 2nd and 12 from the 34.
We're now under 10 minutes left in this game.
Time is winding down as we are tied. We'll see what Rummel does here. And looks like they are passing. And a wide open man as, lays the boom! Jamonte Williams laid the boom! He liked to take off Ashanti Wheatley's head, as we will watch the replay as just an amazing hit. Oh my. Oh my.
It is, oh man, I don't know if anybody would have been able to hold on to that one.
I know I wouldn't.
Got a feel for Wheatley there.
Of course, that might have been a fine in the NFL. But we're high school football here.
3rd down and 12 now. Another critical 3rd down for the Raiders.
As these fans are getting loud yet again, as this is 3rd and even longer. We'll see what Rummel could do. Of course, definitely a passing down. And it looks like they'll have to take a timeout. As Rummel will have to take a timeout. With 9:38 left in the 4th quarter, it is tied 24-24.
We're back. Hahnville, of course, still recovering from the aftershocks of the earthquake shattering hit.
Yeah, they said we have a solar storm coming, and we got a solar storm from Jamonte Williams. As a big hit, and he might be one of the most underrated players on this Hahnville team. And he's proving that he is one of the best. As empty backfield here for 4Cade. Passes out. Oh! Drew Favre just missed an interception. That would have been a pick 6, but Hahnville will get the ball back. Great coverage there from Drew Favre. He'll be mad, but he'll be more than happy that they get a punt. They force a punt here.
He did his job, and Hahnville could definitely get some good field position here. And Brandon Singleton and Waylon LeBlanc are back. You got to figure they're going to try to keep this one as far away from Singleton as possible.
And we've seen it. If the ball goes to LeBlanc, he'll do a pitch to Singleton. They did that a few times against Salmon. We'll see what they do here. Of course, what Enrique Carrasquero will do with the punt. And it's a low snap as he gets it up and was able to get it off, but it's a terrible punt as it looks like the wind just killed it there.
And it takes a super Tigers bounce right there as well.
And good field position for the Tigers. Of course, we saw momentum shift in Rummel's favor in the 3rd quarter. The 4th quarter has been all Hahnville.
44-yard line. They don't have that far even to get into field goal position. And with 9:22 left, you know, field goal isn't optimal, but I'll definitely take it.
Yeah, field goal puts them in the lead. Of course, we've never seen Matt Boyer's range, but if they could get to around maybe the 25, they are in field goal range. But, of course, Hahnville will definitely be looking for a touchdown as Bradley Oquan comes back in the game. We saw Drew Dunn. Let's see what Bradley Oquan can do if they give him the ball. And it's definitely hurt this Rummel defense.
Preston's still not on the field, still awaiting his return.
Nope, as Norquell Flowers is still in for him. And Bradley Oquan with a nothing run there, as won't get a yard.
Oakland just ran into the Great Wall of China there.
The only thing they'll get from that run is a second down. And Bradley Oquan looks like he's coming out as Drew Dunn comes back in.
And, at this point, Drew Dunn has been dynamite for him so far the second half. So they're gonna ride the hot hand here.
Drew Dunn has been the player of the game for this offense. Of course, in the last drive, made a name for himself. We'll see what he can do to this drive. Maybe we'll see more players step up. Maybe Norquell Flowers. Of course, as he is in motion, they give it to Drew Dunn, and he won't get anything either. Might get a yard there.
If that.
As Rummel decided that they'd stop the run this drive, we'll see Mike Neal's arm here. We'll see what they could do.
3rd down and 8.
As Waylon LeBlanc comes in the game. Waylon LeBlanc and Brandon Singleton, they're 2 receivers. And Drew Dunn comes out for Bradley Oquan. As we have 8 minutes left in this one. Brandon Singleton with the tiptoe. That will be a first down for Hahnville. Brandon Singleton with the catch. Great pass. As we will watch the replay, Mike Neal rolls out. All eyes on Singleton all day long, and a great tiptoe. That was a catch in the NFL. That was a catch in high school. That was a catch in Pee Wee. That was a catch everywhere.
As Derek Munson and Andre Denove on the coverage there, they didn't do their job, and Hahnville's got themselves a first down.
And Hahnville will pass again, and it looked like a misread play.
Yeah.
Some miscommunication between Devontae Craven and Mike Neal. As a rare 2 passes in a row from this offense.
That's a new record.
Of course, against Salmon, they only had 2 completions. Of course, it was for 68 yards.
But still.
They don't throw the ball much. And Vial comes in, so that's their run formation. He's another offensive lineman up there. And we'll see what they do on this 2nd and 10. They get the play call, of course, reading the defense, something they do very well. And a fumble there. Mike Neal able to pick it up. But it'll be another 3rd and long for the Tigers.
Who's going to step up this time?
As, of course, they need to move the ball a lot more to be in field goal range. Of course, we don't know how far Matt Boyer can kick. Craig Ford could have probably made one from right here, but we don't know about Matt Boyer. They will definitely be playing for a first down.
Got to figure the Raiders here are going to probably put 2 or even 3 guys on number 19.
And as the clock's running down, the play clock's running down, they have to hurry up. We'll see if they actually got the play call in. As they get it off. As Mike Neal scrambling around, he needs to throw the ball as he does. Brandon Singleton catches it, but he will get back to the line of scrimmage as they will have to punt. And they could pin Rummel deep here. As we look at the replay, it was a great catch, but Mike Neal wasn't able to find him quick enough, and they'll have to punt the ball as there's Austin Perrin in a punt.
That's just a great job there with Ricky Preston off the field of Rummel trying to make Hahnville beat him with someone other than Singleton. And there they were unable to do so. Singleton was unable to help there.
And we'll see if Perrin can coffin corner him as no one's running at him. And he kicks it to the corner as it takes a good Hahnville bounce, and it looks like it will be down at the 13. Good punt there from Austin Perrin. Rummel will start inside the 20. That's a very good punt there from Austin Perrin, and we'll see what Rummel's offense can do. They'll have to go a long way to get some points out of this drive.
Yeah, they will, but it's definitely possible.
And the way Hahnville's defense has been, it'll be a tough long yards
Yeah.
to get in the scoring range.
Rummel's taking the form of an offensive juggernaut on multiple drives. If this is another one, you know, this could burn a lot of clock. Rummel definitely has some sort of opportunity here, even if it's not necessarily an easy one.
So Rummel will start out. It looks like they are in a run formation. And they hand the ball off as a hole for Brandon Phillips.
And Brandon Phillips will pick up the first down.
As Eric Gilmore with the tackle there, but that's a first down for Rummel as this field got a lot shorter. And looks like we have a timeout. Yep, a timeout. And that's a timeout with 6:11 left. It is Hahnville 24, Rummel 24.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, Dodge fans. We would like to take this opportunity once again to thank St. Charles Hospital for providing on-site EMS services tonight and for every home, high school, and middle school football game this year. Thank you for keeping the safety of our players as the top priority again this season. St. Charles Hospital, working together for a healthy community. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Tonight is St. Charles Tower Business Night. We want to thank all the businesses in St. Charles Tower.
And Brandon Phillips went down on the injury there.
He's walking off the field as we speak, but not entirely under his own weight. So
After that big run, that could be a big hurt for this Rummel offense. But they have a lot of very good runners.
Brandon Phillips might have been the most versatile player on this Rummel offense, though. They're going to miss him.
Of course, they ran the Wildcat with him. First and 10, 6 minutes left for Rummel. They have a long way to go if they want to score.
And that's not gonna do much for him.
And Jacob Plash was able to stop him. And it looks like he got a yard out of that play. And it was a hard-worked yard. As we see Plash right there. He's had a very good game. Of course, Fred Brown, an amazing game. Peyton Robert, Jamonte Williams, Chris Marshall.
Drew Favre.
Haven't seen much of John Knight.
Yeah, John Knight's other than the fake punt, of course.
And that's happened all 3 games this year. John Knight has not done much, which he hasn't really had to.
Yeah.
But John Knight, of course, the sought-after recruit.
Yeah. You know, this is where stars are made. Just over 5 minutes left in the game.
And they'll pass the ball, and it looks like he'll have to scramble.
And he'll pick up some yardage. It'll be probably about 7 yards.
Oh, and they'll only mark him for about 3.
Really?
As maybe he stepped out a little early, as it'll be 3rd and 5 for this Rummel offense. We'll see if Hahnville can make a big stop. As Rummel makes some substitutions. Of course, this seems like it's a passing down. We've seen Forcade able to hurt him. Dropping back, not finding anything. He's been able to hurt him with his feet.
He's been an Andrew Luck-like dual threat for Rummel so far.
We'll see what happens on this play as they have 4 in the box for Hahnville. And they'll run it.
And
Shock call there.
Not going to get anything on it.
A very shocking call there to run the ball with 5 minutes left in a tie ball game against a good offense. Very shocking there.
And Rummel's going to have to punt.
As Devin Hutton will be happy they ran it because they called his number, but a very shocking play there as it'll be 4th and 4 and they will have to punt.
Whoa.
As we'll see what Enrique Carrasquero can do on this punt. As it looks like Waylon LeBlanc back to return. I don't see Brandon Singleton. As I see him on the sidelines here, but
We got to figure Rummel's jumping for joy at this point.
They're giving Waylon LeBlanc a chance as the clock runs to under 4 minutes and 30 seconds. As we'll see Carrasquero punt it. Good snap and good punt.
And
Very good punt. He calls a fair catch and will take the fair catch at the 34. Hahnville with good field position with 4:09 left. Rummel 24, Hahnville 24. As Hahnville comes onto the field, 1st and 10 at the 33. They'll mark it. Drew Dunn in the game, and for Bradley Oakland, Ricky Preston still hasn't got in the game, as it looks like he might be out of the game with injury.
the Destrehan-Helen Cox game has just gone final. The Wildcats beat the Cougars 48-7.
And a screen to Brandon Singleton. He has blockers. Brandon Singleton makes a few men miss and goes down.
That's a 20-yard gain on the screen for Singleton, the yellow jacket, the future yellow jacket.
As Briston Guidry on the stop, but a great screen. As you said, they maybe should have ran the screen earlier in the game, and that play had hurt Rummel's defense. Has some great blocks.
Yeah.
As you see Adrian Young and Drew Melanson down the field. Blocking there. Some good offensive lineman movement. Of course, Coach Salt loves that. And they are in Rummel Raider territory with under 4 minutes left in this game. It's looking to be just like last year's game turned out.
Yeah, we're looking for a thriller here.
As Neal under center will roll out. Pitches it. And that's Brandon Phillips on the stop.
Brandon Phillips has returned from injury and
returned hard as he hit Norquell Flowers there.
It's going to be a loss of probably about 4 or 5.
And that takes them out of Rummel field position. And it'll be 2nd and 12 from the 50. We'll see if they pass it a lot more than they normally do on this drive. Of course, they had that screen to Singleton. With 3 minutes left, you can't really run the ball and expect to score before time runs out the way they've been running it. And with 10 seconds left on the play clock, they'll have to huddle up to the line. Mike Neal yelling out some play calls.
He's under center.
And they get the snap off, and there's a flag. No, a timeout from Hahnville. With 2:49 left, Rummel 24, Hahnville 24.
Hold on to your hats. Back here as Adrian Young was down with cramps. He's staying up. Adrian Young, the senior offensive lineman for the Tigers.
And a big thing for Hahnville fans, it looked like Ricky Preston almost got back in the game on that play, but they'll hold him on the sideline for this one. As Norquell Flowers stays in the game. As Mike Neal under center, with center Landon Kindler. And it's another screen to Singleton. Makes a man miss, and he has field. First down, Brandon Singleton inside the 30 with under 3 minutes left. This is the exact position Hahnville wanted to put themselves in this game.
Just another fantastic execution of the screen.
As we take a look at the replay, maybe they should have been running the screen all game.
Yeah.
Good cut there by Singleton.
Rummel blitzed 6, and Singleton was pretty close to getting 6 right there.
As they run up to the line quick.
Just over
the field position they have. I don't see why they'd be running up to the line quick. All they have to really do is pound it in as Mike Neal with the ball. Hold on to it, Mike Neal.
He'll take it for about 3 or 4 yards.
And they're down to the 24.
Tigers are inching up now on the red zone.
And of course, in the red zone, that's where the Tigers want to be.
Absolutely.
And it looks like Singleton might be a little shaken up there as Adrian Young comes out of the game. When will we see Ricky Preston?
That's what the fans are clamoring. It's Sanders Johnson in.
Sanders Johnson, and of course our close friend.
LeBlanc is also in for VL. And we are just over 2 minutes left.
As the play clock is at 10. As it looks like they're just running the play clock down. It's an odd call from Coach Salt, but he's the man that's won a championship with East Jeff.
Yep. Last year, the East Jefferson won the 4A championship.
And the last 2 minutes, we will stay with you the whole time. As a timeout by Hahnville there, as they ran out the clock, maybe looking to run out the clock so Rummel cannot have possession of the ball.
They'll keep a timeout, but they might be going for the game-killing field goal here.
Yeah, of course, they have one timeout left. Rummel has 2. So Rummel will be able to ice the kicker if they get in that field goal position.
But at this point, by taking this timeout and pretty much running the clock down, Coach Salta Formaggio is putting a lot of trust in his freshman kicker, Matthew Boyer.
And we're looking at Coach Salt right there. What is going on in his mind as his team is in the driver's position?
He knows his team is well equipped for this upset. It's very close to actually happening.
And it looks like Ricky Preston's in the huddle, but he will walk back as they're still saving him.
Still interesting to see him playing it safe with Ricky Preston, even in such a position as this. Tie ball game on offense against Rummel.
And we might see power game from Drew Dunn here as Drew Dunn's in the game. And we do. Drew Dunn running, pulling a few guys, and he gets close to the first down as it looks like it'll be 3rd and a centimeter.
Most important thing to remember right now is ball control, especially in a game like this where we've seen probably 7 times the ball hit the ground. It's of the utmost importance.
And we see Sanders Johnson comes out for Adrian Young. Sanders did a very good job that play. Good job, Sanders.
LeBlanc and Singleton are lining up wide.
You got to think they might just do a little sneak here, and they do. Mike Neal just hold on to the ball, and they get a first down. Hahnville are looking at this game. They can win it. First down, they could take a lot of time off the clock. Of course, 1:09 left.
And Rummel still got 2 timeouts. So, we'll see.
As we are tied, of course, 24-24. Rummel electing not to use those timeouts, of course, maybe saving them. But by the looks of it, they won't have the ball.
How's Rummel going to pull this one off?
We said that last year, too, as that was an interesting play there as Mike Neal was hit as they tried the screen. And, of course, the ball went backwards, which is a fumble.
So that's going to be a loss of 5.
Oh, no, they rule it an incomplete pass there as it was 2nd and 10.
All right, that'll save him 5 yards.
And maybe helping out Rummel a little bit as that pass stopped the clock.
You gotta be impressed with Singleton though. Even though it wasn't backwards, him being in position there.
Yeah, if it was a fumble, he saved it.
Yep.
And we'll see what Hahnville the play call is here as they look back for the play call, of course. And it's Mike Neal. Gives it to Norquell Flowers, who goes down. And the clock continues to run, and I believe we have a timeout. Rummel. A timeout Rummel with 45 seconds left.
They're down to 1 timeout now.
Of course, that pass play really put Rummel in a good position. Of course, they're definitely not in a good position right now, their defense. But now, if Hahnville can't convert for a first down right here, they could use that timeout, and they'll have about 30 seconds left, it seems. Maybe even more on the clock. Last year, they only needed about 8 to win this game.
There's Coach Salta Formaggio there.
As you see Ricky Preston in the shot with his helmet on. Will he get into the ball game?
We shall see.
And what would the play call be here with only 45 seconds left? Do you take a risk and pass it, or do you just run it up the middle?
At this point, Rummel's the number 3 ranked team in the state. I wouldn't take the risk. This is not the game to do it.
Well, of course, we haven't seen any interceptions this game, but that does not mean they can't happen in this game. As the only wide receiver is Brandon Singleton, but they've passed out of that look before.
Right you are.
And Mike Neal goes down, but he gets in the middle of the field as they set up for the field goal there. Good play by Mike Neal to get in the middle of the field.
It's gonna be timeout Raiders here. They're out of timeouts, but we're looking at about a 37-yard attempt here for the freshman kicker Matthew Boyer, and he has not been under this much pressure in a football game before in his life, I'd imagine.
No, he hasn't been in many football games in his life. Of course, only the freshman. This is the second game of the year. Of course, Hahnville last year was able to beat Thibodaux with an overtime field goal, but that was the senior Craig Ford, and this is the freshman Matt Boyer, both ends of the spectrum. We'll see what Matt Boyer could do as Mike Neal teed it up perfectly for him in the middle of the field.
Yeah, that's about as good of an angle as you're going to get.
And with 40 seconds left, we will see what Matt Boyer is able to do, as Waylon LeBlanc will be the holder. Bradley O'Quinn will be the center. Matt Boyer, can he make this? As there's the snap, it was good, and it's really low as it is blocked.
I don't believe it. It's pure ecstasy from the Raiders, and they now have a chance to win this game.
As 34 seconds left, they have the ball at the 20. As a look of dejection from Matt Boyer there.
That's rough.
And we'll see if Rummel plays for overtime or if they just play for the win right here. Of course, they were not expected to be this close.
No, they were not. You got to figure a lot less pressures on Rummel at this point.
Of course, Rummel were about a 7-point favorite here.
Yeah.
But it's tied.
Barring a turnover here, though, it looks like Rummel, it's either going to be a Rummel win or we're going to overtime. Which will it be?
And it doesn't look like they're playing the pass, so they will play for overtime.
They're in the victory formation here, but they're not going for victory. Not yet, at least.
And this overtime will, of course, be an interesting one. And the quarterback takes a kneel for Cade, takes a kneel, and the clock will continue to run. Of course, they will have to have another play, as we'll see when they start running the clock. And no, they will not. As the play clock did not start running, we have about 19 seconds on the play clock, 19 seconds on the clock, 25 on the play clock. And time will run out as we are headed to overtime here. You get a little free football at home.
We get a little bit of free football here.
Yep. And that is the end of regulation. Of course, the end of regulation, fun to say when you're going to overtime.
24 Hahnville, 24 Rummel. This is absolutely the best we expected.
And we can see if Hahnville's fans can lift this team to a victory at home. And we are going into overtime. Rummel 24, Hahnville 24. Going into overtime, how better can this game get?
Oh, man, it can't. It really can't. No matter what happens here, one team's going to be gonna feel the thrill of victory. The other one's going to feel the agony of defeat. But these are the situations where stars are made. Who's gonna star in this one?
And of course, if you did not tune in with us earlier, Destrehan beating Helen Cox 48-7.
They've pounded the opposition so far in their first 2 games.
But they played a few,
No disrespect to Helen Cox or West Jefferson, but
Destrehan is an extremely talented team, and when you play a team that doesn't have that much talent, it's not likely you're going to lose those ball games.
Yeah, 47-7, 48-7. Of course, Dutchtown next week. We're going to be broadcasting that one from Destrehan. And Dutchtown's definitely a better team than Helen Cox or West Jefferson. But
yeah, the Griffins a more formidable opponent.
We will see if they'll be any match for the Destrehan Wildcats. Of course, Rummel. Next game is going to be against Acadiana, the defending 5A state champions and the #1 team in the state. So if Rummel wins that one, it's going to be the #1 versus the #3 in the state. Hahnville, meanwhile, will be playing Landry Walker, which is another very good team.
Yeah, especially away. Travel to New Orleans for that game.
We saw Landry Walker last week defeat South Lafourche 54-15.
South Lafourche was very good last year. They took Hahnville to the end.
The only registered defeat against Destrehan during the regular season. So Landry Walker could be very good, but of course Hahnville is not looking at that game right now. They're looking at the game in front of them. They've taken the mighty Rumel Raiders, the 2-time defending state champions in Division I LHSAA football.
And if you're looking on your screen right now, this is not a final score. We are going to overtime as we are getting ready for the toying cost. The captains, Fred Brown, Brandon Singleton, Landon Kindler, and Bradley Oquin are walking on the field. And the captains for Rummel are Forcade, Pierce Bonk,
Michael Mosley,
and that is
and
Ryan Hanley. As we'll see how the coin toss goes. Of course, you want the ball first in overtime.
Yep. If you if you score first, you win. It's that simple.
Actually, I believe we have college-style overtime rules.
So maybe you don't want the ball first.
So I believe the teams will take it at the 15 and see what they can do from there. If I'm not mistaken, of course, we'll see once the game starts. We haven't had a lot of overtimes here, especially in high school football.
Right you are.
So it's still a blank in my mind. What's going to happen?
It's a mystery. Well,
As we will see, the coin toss has just commenced. Hahnville has won it looks like. Rummel will receive first. Rummel will have the ball first. Hahnville, of course, with the ball second.
definitely appears to be college-style rules. They will be taking it from the 25-yard line, I believe.
As, of course, we will see. As will we see Ricky Preston in overtime?
That's been the question on every Tigers fan's mind.
Ricky Preston, of course, extremely talented. A very good player.
Explosive.
But if the defense can't do their work, we might not be able to see Ricky Preston. Of course, Hahnville will have the ball for a possession, but will they be trying to score a touchdown, or will it be just a field goal? As we just saw a field goal blocked. So I think anyway, Hahnville will try to score a touchdown, but they have to hold Rummel here as the ball will be taken from, it looks like the 10.
The 10.
The ball will be set up on the 10, of course, a first and goal. The clock has expired. There is no clock. There is only a play clock. You have 4 plays. Either you score or you don't. High school football, Friday night lights. We are loving it here at Hahnville High School. Tiger Stadium against Rummel.
We couldn't be more excited.
And Brandon Phillips is back. He will be the quarterback on this play. We've seen him run it most of the time by himself, and he does here. Can they bring him down? A good, and he's still fighting.
Wow, excellent carry from Phillips.
As he gets to the 4. And it looks like we have an injured offensive lineman for Rummel. No, that's Brandon Phillips.
That's the second time he's been down this game.
That injury does not look good either as he is rolling around.
He's the senior two-way player. Plays defensive back on defense. Can play quarterback or tailback.
We've seen him in the receiving game too.
The return game. He looks to be in a lot of pain now.
Yeah, you hate to see that. Of course, Hahnville's defense will be able to take a breather. And of course, speaking of Destrehan, the Hahnville-Destrehan game, the Battle on the River, is coming up.
So in 3 weeks, it'll be in Destrehan. That's going to be a barnstormer if this game has any indication.
And we hope you could be there. We hope you could be there, of course, in person, but if you could watch it, that's good too, as we will have pregame coverage, halftime show, postgame coverage, and of course, the most important part, the game.
Yeah. Until then, we're going to see in Destrehan, as Brandon Phillips walks off the field under his own power. We'll see next week in Destrehan. We'll see the Dutchtown Griffins play Destrehan. And in 2 weeks, we'll come here, where it'll be the first District 7-5A game for the Hahnville Tigers, as they will host the Thibodaux Tigers.
Of course, Thibodaux last year brought Hahnville to overtime at Thibodaux.
Second down here on the 4-yard line. Forcade's back in. In the backfield there is Devin Hutton.
We'll see if they run it with Hutton. Of course, their O-line is a very big group of people. And it's Hutton, and he'll get brought down at the 2.
He's wrapped up by Stephen Cloud and taken down by Peyton Robert.
We'll see if Hahnville's defense can get a stop.
Drew Favre.
As we look at the replay, as it was Stephen Cloud and Drew Favre there.
Third down here, 3-yard line. This is a huge play here.
As these fans are getting loud at Tiger Stadium. And Brandon Phillips and Forcade are in the game. What are they going to do here? It looks like they might run a jet sweep. As no, Forcade keeps it.
Forcade's going to get taken down.
That's Chris Marshall on the tackle. You see Drew Favre. Look at the emotion.
It's going to be 4th down here and 6. And the field goal unit is coming on. We go to the replay.
As we look at it, the replay, Chris Marshall was able to get there. Drew Favre, of course, assisted.
Oh, man. If they're going to go for the field goal here, but Hahnville with a touchdown can actually win it on the other end.
As we'll see if they might have a little fake here. Maybe some Les Miles trickery as they call a timeout. Rummel calls a timeout. That is their only timeout. Of course, each team has one timeout. Hahnville are ecstatic here. Great defensive stop in overtime. Of course, starting at the 10. If Rummel can only salvage a field goal out of this, anything can happen in this game. One play. We've seen numerous plays go for over 10 yards tonight. Just one play can win this team. And will we see the screen with Brandon Singleton?
Will we?
That's worked a few times. Will we see Ricky Preston?
The only bad thing about this game is that we might not get another game anywhere close to this for the rest of the year.
And if we do, I will be more than happy. As you look at Coach Salt, the mastermind, the legend, coming over from East Jeff, turns this program around.
He's got to be over the moon right now. His hard work has paid off. He has been working his butt off to restore the H to Hahnville.
And we'll see, as that is Moraine on the kick. And it's a miss. It's blocked. Hahnville has blocked it.
Hahnville can win with a field goal on the other end now.
Oh my gosh.
It's utter despair for the Rummel Raiders. And they're going to have to do their best here. But
as we saw Matt Boyer miss a field goal, and now Moraine misses another.
Wow.
I am speechless up here.
I don't even know what to say on this one.
As the Rummel players are sluggishly walking on the field, and that's how the fans feel right now. But the Hahnville fans are super excited.
Oh my goodness. It's hard to get any better than this, folks.
As they have a chance to win this game. Mike Neal runs on the field. The quarterback, Drew Dunn. Ricky Preston.
Ricky Preston's here.
Devontae Craven, Brandon Singleton. All 5 of those guys can have the ball in their hands as Ricky Preston rolls out and they give it to Drew Dunn.
Drew Dunn.
And there's a flag on the play.
Never want to see that in this situation.
But Ricky Preston is on the field, and there's no bigger stage to come on the field from injury.
No, there is not.
As it's a false start on Hahnville, and that will move them back. Of course, more yards they'll have to make up to get the touchdown. course, a field goal wins it for the Tigers.
They'd like to not have to count on that.
If they can't get any points, we, of course, go to another overtime until we get a winner. Devontae Craven and Ricky Preston switch sides for this play. Drew Dunn stays in the game. Will they have the same play? Will they run it to Drew Dunn? Will they give it to Preston? Will Rummel stop them? And Mike Neal with the ball.
Mike Neal goes nowhere.
Rummel's defense is stepping up here.
It's an excellent stop from Christopher Boudreaux, the senior linebacker for Rummel.
Rummel's defense is making it hard on this Hahnville offense, as it will be second and about 17, of course. It's second and goal. As this game is completely insane right now.
One question the coach called, do you even ponder passing here?
And I know these fans paid for their seat, but not one of them is getting used right now.
Nope.
All the fans on their feet. Ricky Preston rolls. It is Drew Dunn, and he fumbles the ball.
I don't believe it.
Rummel will get the ball, and
it's recovered by Derek Munson, and this one's going to a second overtime.
As Rummel will get another chance.
Wow, Rummel is using up all their 9 lives in this game.
So we will see another overtime as Rummel are celebrating that big fumble recovery.
Buffalo Wild Wings must have something to do with this one. This is getting nuts. We're at the second overtime now. I don't think anybody saw anything as good as this coming.
And I think Hahnville will have the ball They will be on offense here to start it. Rummel, of course, gets the ball second. We'll see if Hahnville can score and really put the pressure on that Rummel offense. As Neal is the quarterback. Ricky Preston, Devontae Craven, Bradley Oquin, Brandon Singleton out wide. No! Ricky Preston and Waylon LeBlanc are out wide.
Ricky Preston being used as a wideout for potentially the first time all year.
Of course, he was a receiver last year. Of course, the duo with Brandon Singleton and Ricky Preston was the highlight of last year, and they will pass it. Looking for Singleton, and touchdown, Tigers!
That's the way you recover right there.
Brandon Singleton. As we look at the replay, what a catch. Mike Neal is extremely ecstatic.
Mike Neal was cool under the pressure.
Big play by the Tigers there.
Excellent catch by Singleton.
Brandon Singleton and Ricky Preston share a hug. That is a great pair of players right there. Some of the best that have came through Hahnville's ranks by far. And Matt Boyer with the extra point, of course, the all-important extra point in overtime.
Yep. Now
and
it's
good. Rummel needs 7 points to keep this game going. They didn't get any in the last possession of overtime.
Pressure's on, Raiders. How are you going to do with this one?
With Hahnville on defense, can their fans lift them?
Rummel has experienced probably 2 Houdini-like escapes from death. Will Hahnville be third time's a charm here?
And these fans are super excited. Not a single one is sitting down. I wish I couldn't sit down. I might stand up for this one. As Rummel offense runs onto the field, you cannot cut the tension here with a knife. As it looks like they're in a run set. Brandon Phillips is in. Forcade under center.
Chase Forcade's going to have to be a man here.
We'll see what Rummel could do. And if they score, do they go for 2? Of course, you have to score first, as won't get much there, as it looks like a gain of 3.
Solid bull rush there, but they'll probably get about 3 or 4, depending on where it's spotted.
Of course, we are in 4-down territory. You have to be in 4-down territory. They will use all 4 downs unless they could score beforehand, and they need a touchdown and an extra point to send this game on.
Of course. If they score the touchdown, they might end up just saying, hey, let's go for 2 points. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised.
That will make this game extremely tense. As Phillips stays in the backfield. They have 2 receivers out wide on the visitor side. They give it to Phillips. He's running, and he will be stopped.
He was wrapped up by Dylan Crockett.
And it looks like they will have the ball at the 3. Very similar to Rummel's last overtime drive, where they were not able to do anything on third down and, of course, missed the field goal. As you can see, the ball and the goal line there, that far, that much, separates Rummel from tying this game and perhaps even winning this game. Of course, they need 7. There's a possibility of 8.
This is a long 2 yards.
Yep, and Brandon Phillips is in the backfield. It looks like the same thing. We'll see if Hahnville's defense steps up. And they run it with Forcade.
Bull rush.
Did he get there? He did not.
4th down, it all comes down to this one, folks.
As Forcade is stuck on the 1. This is 4th down. This is the play for the game.
We'll see what true champions are made out of here. Is it going to be the Hahnville defense or the Rummel offense that's victorious in this one?
Of course, a touchdown ties and perhaps wins. As you look at the distance between the ball and the goal line, that is the farthest 2 yards in sports for this Rummel team so far.
Some pure smash mouth football is about to commence right here.
As of course we know about Hahnville's defensive line, we know about Rummel's offensive line. What will happen here as they hand off and he gets the corner?
Phillips scores!
There's 3 flags on the play though, 3 flags. Will it be coming back? That just created a whole nother dimension to this game.
Too many cliffhangers.
As of course Brandon Phillips scored.
If the play holds, this game's going to a 3rd overtime.
Unless Rummel decides to opt for 2. The refs are conversing. There was 3 flags thrown on the play. So basically you have to throw a flag. And if it's on the Tigers, I'm sure this crowd will be extremely raucous. As we'll see, as I think they're replaying the down here. It's a face mask on the defense.
So Rummel's going to get the touchdown.
As it's a touchdown, and they will try for the field goal for the extra point. Of course, they just missed one. As we are 31-30, barring this extra point.
It's Justin Moraine.
Can Rummel block it? Hahnville block it. Will Rummel make it? And it looks like the ref is icing the kicker a little bit, as they're re-saying what the foul was. Okay. And here we go. Moraine, it is on his foot, whether we will be going to a 3rd overtime.
Snapping is Christopher Boudreaux, and
it's good.
This one's going to a 3rd overtime.
And Rummel will get the ball to start out this overtime. And of course, we are going to see how this game wraps up. This one very tense, very close. 3 overtimes. You will not get a football game on Saturday or Sunday that is this close.
If you do, then you're one lucky person.
You're lucky you got that package on DirecTV if you're able to catch that one.
Yeah.
And Rummel will start on the 10. Can they get into the end zone? Can Hahnville stop them? Will they have to settle for a field goal? All questions that can make or break this game. We've talked about it in every single overtime. As Hahnville's defense is on the field, Rummel's offense is yet to get on the field. And it looks like there's a timeout.
Hahnville's used their only timeout, it looks like. There's Coach Salt, the coach.
I don't think it's a timeout on Hahnville, as they still have their timeout. It looks like Hahnville will be starting on offense. That's random. Perhaps someone forgot to flip the page on the rule book. The pages that are not normally used in high school games. The overtime pages. As Hahnville will get the ball to start. As Ricky Preston still in the game. Waylon LeBlanc. Brandon Singleton out wide. Bradley Oquent, Devontae Craven the backs. Mike Neal the quarterback. Landon Kindler the center. All of those players can have possession of the ball at one point of this drive.
Audible here.
We'll see what Hahnville does on this play.
They're
As
gonna
they give it to Bradley Oakland, who stays up and gets a few yards.
Oakland pins balls his way to the 3-yard line.
And Drew Dunn comes in the game as it's 4 yards from Pater from the end zone. Of course, third overtime. If you're just joining us, I don't know where you've been this whole game.
But you're just in time.
This is one of the greatest games for this season, only in week 2. But I don't think many games are going to match this on the schedule.
Nah. If we're lucky, maybe the Battle of the River does.
The Battle on the River, of course, always excites us. They have 6 seconds left, 5. And they give it to Drew Dunn. Can he muscle his way? As he will not.
He might have picked up a yard there.
As the ball will be spotted on the 3. Third down. Hahnville in a similar position to Rummel on the last drive. As it looks like Drew Dunn's going to stay in the game. Will they give it to him? Will they give it to Preston? Will they give it to Craven? Will they give it to Singleton? Will they give it to LeBlanc? I can tell you I don't know. I'm pretty sure Coach Saul probably doesn't even know. As we'll see who gets the ball here. Of course, a big play.
Huge play.
As Mike Neal rolls out, gets it to Preston. Preston makes a man
Taken
miss, but
down.
gets stopped
So
at the 2. Now, this is a hard decision here. What will Coach Salt do? I know Ricky Preston looks hobbled there. That's a big loss for this offense if he's hurt. And that is a big injury if he is hurt for this Hahnville team. Now it gives Coach Salt a little extra time to maybe rethink what he wanted to do. Of course, what is that man thinking?
that's the question.
Championship winner at East Jeff comes over to Hahnville. This is his first year. This will definitely be the biggest win of his Hahnville career so far if they could pull it off. The ball at the 2.
This could be one of the biggest wins in recent Hahnville history.
And we are happy to bring this game to you, of course. I'm glad we're here and not at Destrehan.
Yeah. That game went final probably about 30 minutes ago at this point.
Yeah, this is one of the later games of the season.
You can see Preston here walking off.
Looks like it might have been a cramp, a little stinger there. But he will come out for this play. And we will see what Coach Saul does. It looks like the offense is staying on the field. Mike Neal comes out. The power back will be Bradley Oquan. Norquell Flowers, Devontae Craven, the other running backs. Will they run it? Will they pass it? I think their best bet is to either run up the middle with the quarterback or give it to Oquan. But Rummel's been able to stop him on those plays so far.
It's a pass.
And they'll pass it.
Oh my goodness! It's a miss for Oakland.
Bradley Oquan dropped a wide open pass in the end zone that could have given this Tiger team a touchdown. The Hahnville sideline is stunned.
That's rough.
As now Rummel will get the ball with the chance to win the game. But Hahnville is still getting an opportunity, of course. Anything can happen. Turnovers. If Rummel fails to score, anything will send this game into a 4th overtime. But, of course, if Rummel does score, the game is over.
You know, after seeing what happened to Hahnville in the first overtime, maybe Rummel just goes for the kick right immediately. Doesn't look like there will be.
No, the offense is coming on the field. Big risk by Rummel. Maybe they'll just run the ball short. As we're seeing what's happening here. And they hand the ball off
to Brandon Phillips. Brandon Phillips to about the 3-yard line.
And they're marking him down at the 1, it looks like.
Wow.
Big run by Brandon Phillips.
And Rummel is inches away from escaping this one.
But that is the longest yard for these Rummel players. Will they get it? 4K under center. Phillips in the backfield. 4K takes it himself, and no signal yet from the refs. Still no signal, as there may have been a fumble. Hahnville players saying they have the ball. This is interesting. And it looks like they'll mark them at the inches line, as it looks like Rummel will have the ball at the inches line. Neither team got what they wanted on that play.
No, they did not.
Looks like Josh Commerdale pleading his case there to the referee. Of course, this is the biggest play of this game so far. Third down, Rummel an inch away from victory.
He's not going to get there.
And there's a flag. That flag, if it is on Rummel, that will be a big shock into the side of Rummel. Of course, all they need is a field goal to win. As it's offsides on the defense.
You can see with the bloodied elbow there, Jacob Plake.
As half the distance to the goal.
I'm not sure if there is a half a distance to the goal.
Yeah, it is a hair away from this game. Of course, this will be very heartbreaking to this Hahnville Tiger team. It'll be also sweet for the Rummel Raiders.
There's Coach Salt looking on. There's nothing he can do at this point except hope.
Oh, let's see what happens here. It looks like they'll just give it to 4K and he'll run up the middle. No, they toss it outside, and that's a walk-in. That is the game.
Rummel wins 37-31 in triple overtime.
Of course, triple overtime, one of the longest games you'll see.
That's a rough loss for Hahnville, but at the same time, they battled like champions here. They have to be considered at this point contenders for the state championship.
Oh, extremely.
Maybe we're jumping the gun, but Rummel is one of the best teams in the state.
The way Hahnville played tonight is extremely, extremely good. They could walk out of here with their heads high. They took the defending champions to triple overtime. Not many teams in the country can say that in their respective states.
Of course, we saw East St. John lose 39-0 to Rummel. So it's a bittersweet game for Hahnville, but one loss isn't going to kill them. And this game proved exactly what they need to do to win, and the fact that they have the ability to do so.
Yes, of course. We can't talk about it enough how good Rummel is. And they'll walk out of this game with a win, but they were definitely threatened, as Hahnville looked to be the better team for a good while. Rummel able to eke out a victory here.
So, one last question. Who do you think the game MVP was?
Oh, I think it has to be Brandon Phillips, you know. He had a few good runs. And, of course, he got the game-winning touchdown in triple overtime.
Yeah, there's so many people on both sides that really could be named it, but yeah, I can't look any other way than Brandon Phillips.
Yeah, they had a lot of good players, offensive and defensive, for both teams. I think if Hahnville would have won this game, it would have been extremely difficult to find out who the MVP was.
I might have said Brandon Singleton because of the punt return, maybe Mike Neal, but what a game. We might not get that beat.
No, and thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Perkins.
I'm John Benton.
You could visit us at presstoplay.tv if you want to watch this game over again. I know I will. This game was so amazing. We were glad you could join us tonight. Your final score, Rummel 37, Hahnville 31.
Stay tuned for next week when Destrehan will be hosting the Dutchtown Griffins.
And Hahnville will be at Landry Walker.
And this Hahnville crowd salutes the extremely great effort the Tigers have put in. They may be losers on the scoreboard, but it's an overused cliche, but mentally that might be considered a victory.
Your final score, 37-31. Rummel wins. but it was a hard-fought game both ways. We're glad you could join us, and we are out.
I was sitting here like,